hold on. Hold on, guys. Sorry, it's a little bit blown out. Okay, all right, so nobody's in the chat room right now. That's okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was on time. Oh, what are these filters? What even is this life? What is this life, my friends? Where's the normal one? Oh, what do you know? It's right at the front. Okay, actually, I don't like the normal one. I don't like that either. Oh, they all suck. Okay, so just the normal one then. Okay, how do I close this? Oh, like that. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna put you guys to the side for just 1 minute. I can't see anything right now because I don't have my contact lenses in. I just didn't want to be late because it's like 9 o'clock now, so I just wanted to make sure that I showed up on time. So I'm gonna play some music and I'm gonna allow you guys to pour into the chat room. Please feel free to say hello, get settled in. We're gonna have a really good chat this evening. I'm so excited right now because it's been so long since I've been live. I'm sorry the light is just like not ideal right now. Just give me a minute to kind of like figure that out. Wait, I don't think I can. I was gonna play music, but I don't think I can do that. Or I think I can play a YouTube channel, like uncopywritten music. Maybe like lo-fi hip hop or something is what I. So who's in the chat room right now? I don't think it's showing me anybody talking. Top chat, some messages such as live chat, all messages. Okay, there we go. I see you guys now. Hello, Vince. Hello, Daryl. Hello, Albert. What's up, guys? Hi. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So let me see. Cool. So I'm just going to play this channel. Oh, shoot. I'm live in here. Appreciate you guys because I can't see a thing right now. Okay. I just didn't want to be late. Woo! Contact lenses so I can see all of you talking. Okay. I have to clean my room. I have to clean a lot of things. I could do dishes and stuff. Maybe I should do that like live. Like I'm gonna do my Q&A, but then maybe afterwards we'll like hang out while I clean my apartment or something. I don't know if I can do that and still get things done. Okay, this contact is in my eye and I already want to rip it out. Ah, why did it feel like that? What's wrong with it? It can't be dirty. It's like in the solution. I hate that the chat room doesn't show up. Cleaning with Vera. It's funny. Alright guys, don't worry, you will have my attention in a moment. Okay, is it in this time? Oh, of course my phone is dying. Okay, that appears to be in. I have a feeling that my camera on my laptop is going to be clearer than this. Oh wait, then I have to set up software, which will take a while, so never mind. We're going to stay on my phone for today. I have so much stuff that I have to update because, like, life has just changed so much. Like, I've had to adapt to this new way of doing things. And, like, I'm trying to expand business and stuff, which isn't something that I should really, like, talk about much because I don't want to, like, tell you stuff and then get your, like, hopes up and so on and so forth. But life has just changed so much since since I started Patreon, which it's been, like, a year and something now. And it's, like, it's crazy just, like, how life goes. And I used to have the perfect, like, most bomb live streaming setup, but it's like in anything you have to like maintain things, and I haven't maintained it, and my computer has just become like an editing beast for like preparing content and stuff for you guys. I'm so sorry, this lighting is not flattering. Okay, so we're gonna find like, I mean, I guess I could do the stream here, but I'd have to back up a bit. Okay, so let's go find a tripod that we can, or do I have a tripod in here? Oh, my eyes are still not adjusted to these contacts. I still can't see! Okay. Do I have a tripod in here? I'm like so not ready for this. Just usually when I used to sign on live to like talk to people, it would be like, oh, okay, so just go in your streaming room and turn the lights on and, you know, get everything set. And I'd really only need like 20 minutes to get into it. So it's like the concept of like going live has never been that intimidating to me. But now it's like I don't have a set up streaming place and my room is messy. And last night I fucking slept through the live stream. So it was like I kind of forgot what goes into a live stream because it's been so long. And now I'm like, shit, right, I need a tripod. I need this. I need that. I don't even know where the fuck my tripod is. This is great. You guys can just watch me fumble over myself for the next, I don't know how long. Okay, so I found this tripod. Okay, so I have tripods here, but I don't have the thingy to clip my phone onto. I know I've got one somewhere. I'll just talk to you while I'm looking. Please understand I'm not looking at the chat right now only because I'm trying to get to a place where I can sit down and look good for you guys and then respond to you. I promise you I will be looking at the chat room. But right now I'm a mess because I am a mess and oh my God. So I'm just going to talk to you. Just came over today. We went to the gym as per usual. It was nice to see her because it's been a while. Where the fuck? It's been a while since I've seen her. You know, with all of the traveling and everything that's been going on. I had a really good trip to Los Angeles. I got a lot done. Where the fuck? Guys, where's my tripod though? Where'd you put it? I know. Oh, I found it! Okay, I don't even need to get that other one. I have this. This is good news. Okay, and there are 9 people in the chat room right now. Dope. Nice, intimate Patreon live stream. Two lights here should be good. I'm just gonna stick this to the mirror. beautiful. I hope this doesn't fall. Just so you can see, or I'm like setting up like that. So that's what you guys will be stuck to. I got the burps a little bit. Rose went home to do a bunch of live streams. Oh, I can see. I have my laptop open here. I can see the chat room here. Okay, cool. All right, I can see the chat room. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm doing my best. Okay. Yeah, we're set up. Well, almost set up. We're almost there. We're almost there. Yay, I have the chat room in front of me. God, it's like I've never been live before, you'd think. So sorry, guys. I hope I don't have any like negative Nellies in the chat room like, oh, she doesn't even care about her chat room. You know those guys. Hold on. I'm almost certain I have somebody in here bitching. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I need something to turn into a surface to put my... Ah, it's been so long! I need a surface! Oh! I found a surface! I have a surface! Okay, and then I need to plug in my phone so it doesn't die. You guys are getting like a real BTS look right now. I mean, that's what Patreon is, right? It's the ultimate behind the scenes experience. I hope I'm at least being entertaining while I'm a total disaster. I have so much to talk to you guys about, and I only was supposed to have an hour to sit and chill with you guys, but I think I'm gonna push it because it's been so long since I've sat in a chat room and I feel disconnected from you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna get a water and I'm gonna get a charger. I'm gonna take you with me because even though I'm not able to read the chat room in this very moment, I'm sure that you are still entertained by my flopping around like a fucking fish. Okay, I found a charger and it's a long cord. So we got this. We're gonna plug this in. I cannot wait to read all of your comments on this situation right now. Okay, cool. So I have this. Oh, and I have a water next to me. I don't have to go anywhere. I have a water behind me. I have this horrible habit where I start drinking water bottles and then I leave half consumed water bottles all over the apartment. Okay, all right. Oh, look at that. 11 people are here. Everybody's settling in. This is great. Only so many of you had to put up with me up until this point. Guys, we're here. I'm sorry my room's messy. I mean, it's not that bad. It's messy. I'm gonna wanna like clean it with you guys later. Okay, let me take a drink. Let me take a breath. I'm a little bit like a crazy person. I get total anxiety from like signing on when I'm not able to look at a chat room because I know like there's some negative people out there who like to harp. Okay, hold on. Let me open up this chat room. To those negative people, if you happen to be on my Patreon, I am so sorry. I was literally just trying to make sure that I was on time. But now I'm here. Okay, let's take a drink of water, let's relax, and then let's read the chat room. Okay. This is not a bad situation. I'm like looking behind me to see if I have like dirty underwear out, as if you guys would care. That would actually probably be very exciting. Like, ooh, Vera's dirty panties all over the place. Okay, let's read. Hey, she is busy. Oh my god, I'm like fucking blind. These contacts are not helping me right now. I need to see better. This screen is, okay. I swear I'm fucking blind, you guys. Hey, she has videos throughout her post section, but she needs to send... Oh, hold on, I think I have to scroll up a bit. Vice, there's no video on her Patreon. I thought she was gonna send a link via email. Oh, pick up Peiku, hello and welcome to my Patreon, darling. Okay, so the way that Patreon works is if you got, for example, today is the month of May. So if you got rewards for the month of May, you will receive your rewards the following month by like between the 10th and the 15th. I do my best to get it out on the 10th, but if I am traveling to make more content for you guys, it generally ends up to you by the 15th. So if you got the month, sorry, I'm just trying to fix my boobs without getting demonetized. If you got the month of May, January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, so if you got the month of May, then in June, you'll get your rewards. If you got April, then in May, you'll get your rewards. It looks like she doesn't care about her supporters. Oh, I'm sorry, Piku. I was kind of scrambling around trying to set up. I basically just opened the chat room. She has videos throughout her post section, but she needs to send in. Thank you, Vince. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you, Vince. It'll come soon. The videos are sent at different times during the month. Okay, thanks, Brody. I'm starting to believe I'll get nothing, and then I'll lose. You're not going to lose your money. I promise you. I am good for it. You don't get charged till the 1st of the month. As she says that, LOL. Vince, I was already charged. I'm having a great time. Love you, Vera. Me too. I'm enjoying every minute. I'm glad you guys are watching me like be a fucking spaz and you're cool with it. Woo, finally. Hello, Felicia. Hello, Kay. So, okay. I've been charged last week, so I believe I'll get the content next month. Thanks for the info. Yes, Piku, that is correct. You are going to be getting your content next month. Okay, all right. So we're settled in. I think I'm caught up in the chat room. Hello, everybody. Say hi. I want to know who's here. I want to be able to say hi to you guys. I am reading the chat room now, so we're good. Please feel free. Is the Wi-Fi strong where I am? Are we doing okay on like stream? Because I'm very far from my router right now. I'm comfortable here. I don't want to get set up somewhere else. But if I have to, I will move. Hello, Lewis from London. Holy shit. I love like hearing where you guys are from. You can see me clearly? Oh, that's great. Thank you, Kay. Hello, Jim. Hello, Daryl. Hello, Lewis. Kay, Albert, Felicia. Yes. Oh, yes. We have a clear signal. That makes me so happy. I love just like being in my bedroom. I'm like, if I don't have to move, I'm a happy, happy camper. Stream is clear. Wonderful. How has Patreon been treating you guys? Are you guys enjoying it? Am I doing a good job? I've been like doing my best, and I went and I don't want to tell you too much. Sometimes it's like really hard. This is why I don't go live anymore, because sometimes it's like really hard for me not to just like word vomit everything that I have coming for you. I get so fucking excited. But I've been working really hard, and there's like good things to come. And our next goal is a calendar, and I've never had a calendar before in my entire career, so I might be a calendar girl, and then I'm like a real cosplay professional. And then I'm like a real cosplayer. My power's out right now. Actually, it's 80 degrees outside. Oh my gosh. We're good. I'm enjoying it. That's good. Have you ever thought about creating a tier on Patreon where we can have access to all your videos for a fair amount? I would pay for that. I have thought about it, Piku, but the thing is, I actually really enjoy, so I think it's because I'm a collector. I have this obsession with like flash content. I always loved the concept of Snapchat and how like you can post something to it and then it's gone. It's like this one of a kind, in the moment sort of content, and it's like very in real time. So like the thing is, I have a lot of really good videos, and I've worked very, very hard on my previous videos. So looking back on it in my head, I'm like, I should offer them. I don't think that I would offer them on a tier on Patreon, just because like my tiers get very, very high, and I'm thinking about like, when it comes to Patreon, I'm thinking about more like exclusive style content. I've been considering doing stuff like when I started my Patreon, I used to have this tier that was like $1,000 tier so that people could get like a personal item that like came from the shoot. But then inside of my head, I was like, this is crazy. Like, why would anybody pay for it? And then somebody did pay for it. And then I felt really insecure about it because I was like, this isn't enough. But then like those people have been like, Vera, it's good to have that tier. Like, we want to support, we want to make sure like you can buy like a cosplay, because some people are very understanding that like my last cosplay, for example, my Inspector Gadget cost me like $1,300. So some people are like really understanding of that and they want to like help support it and whatnot. So I'm kind of like getting out of my headspace, and now I think that I want, if I'm going to expand my Patreon, I do want to have like higher tiers for more like super exclusive stuff like that. And then I was thinking of having a separate store. So because I know a lot of people have missed past videos and they want access to them, I'm thinking like if the videos are really, really old, I might offer them in a store, but like I don't know. There's something about content going up and then it's like, get it this month only, that I think is just like so sexy and desirable, and I don't want to like mess with that, if that makes sense. Like, I just like it. Each month gives you more reason to pledge forever. Yeah, I like that kind of like vibe to it. Your content's too high quality to be lost. It's not a simple Snapchat. It's true. That's what makes me be like, I have to sell it again. I have to put it back out there. Because I still have the videos, and I cherish them very much. The other thing I was thinking about was like putting out a movie, like selling DVDs that have like previous videos on them. Cause like, sorry, I'm tripping all over myself. I need to like breathe. I get into this headspace when I sign online and I'm not ready, where I'm like, oh my God. And then like when I sit down and I'm here, I'm like, answer as many questions as possible as fast. This is my anxiety mind. Okay. I'm a crazy girl. Okay. Videos each month gives you more reason to pledge forever. That's a beautiful kitty cat. Oh, that's Lucifer. Do you know Lucifer? This is my boogs. My boogs. You want to come? You want to come? Yeah? You want to come, boogs? Come. You want to come? You want to say hi? Oh, that's a beautiful kitty cat. I agree. There's my boogs. Okay. Delivering content like that is interesting, but having a consistent amount of content available will make you, I don't know if I really care so much about being famous, Piku. Like, I'm happy with how things are going. Like, I don't ever want to do things for the wrong reason. And I feel like doing things to get, like sometimes it's fun to do things to get numbers up, but only when it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy the exclusivity of my videos, and I feel like I don't want to, like, in the past when I started modeling, I used to compromise things that were for like my own personal enjoyment all the time, and it's not really like, I used to make a shit ton of money, like Patreon exclusive. I used to make like $60,000 a month as a cam girl, and it was a really great job. It was like a lot of fun. Like, it was good in a lot of ways. There's a lot of positive things about being a cam girl, and I do like miss it very much sometimes. But I quit to do Patreon, and I decided to do it because it was more focused on like the creative thing, and there's so many things about Patreon that I love so much, and I don't ever want to compromise the things that I love about Patreon, because in the past I was very depressed. I was not happy with myself. And I found a lot of happiness recently. And a lot of that happiness comes from the fact that, like, fame does not buy me happiness. Money does not buy me happiness. These things that sound like they would make you happy, they don't really make you happy. So when I started focusing on creating, I came to the realization that this is something I would pay a lot of money to do. So I'm doing very well. I'm able to, you know, pay my rent and like pay my bills and pay to make content. I would like to be making more so that I can like offer more creatively, but I also think like that's gonna come in time. don't compromise things. Things are on a good flow. Things have been good. Like, Patreon's been very good to me in many ways. I'm not making the money that I used to make as a cam girl, but I also don't care because I'm so much happier, and the way that things are now, like, I would pay for this life that I'm living. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe the money and like the huge fame isn't there, but it's like, why would I want those things? I would want those things so that I can be as happy as I am right now. So I understand being like, oh, you know, put out your videos, it'll up your fame, it'll up your income, but it won't up my happiness. So it's like, I do have these really high quality like videos that I work really hard on, and I would like to put them out more, but another part of me, like, I find it so sexy and it builds up my self-esteem so much that I have these videos that are out there for like a limited time, and they're sort of like they're exclusive and they're special. You know what I mean? Like, it really is like the collector in me, because like I collect sideshow collectibles and hot toys and like old video games and stuff like that. And when I look at that stuff and I'm like, oh, you can't find this again, I find that really special. So when I think about my content, I kind of look at it that way, where it's like mentally in my head, like it gives me a lot of confidence and it gives me a lot of like excitement that it's like when I put it on Instagram and I'm like, guess what, guys, you can only get it this month. It's kind of fun for me. You know what I mean? And it's like, Patreon at the end of the day is all about the fun, in my mind. Thank you, Kay. So much respect, girl. I really appreciate that. You know what helps with nerves? Keeping you caffeinated. Yo, caffeine gives me anxiety sometimes. You were great on cam. Loving you on Patreon. Thank you so much, Opie. I do miss cam. Like, I want to return. I don't want to hustle as hard as I used to, because it really did make me depressed. But I was thinking about like twice a month, just like popping in for fun, for like the cam girl soul in me. But I also have a lot to consider in terms of if I want to do that again. Lewis B says, happiness is definitely the key decision for sure. Stick at what works in that sense. Yeah, I'm putting my happiness 110% first. Having a niche set gets you that far. You have potential to be huge. I respect what you think, though. Thank you, Paku. But if you're healthy and you don't have family problems, money helps with the happiness part. LOL, it's how our society works. I am actually like extremely, extremely happy. And like I said, Paku, I used to make $60,000 a month. Like, that's not a lie. I could literally, I actually do plan on making a video for YouTube eventually where I show bank statements and I'm like, this was my life and this is why it made me miserable and this is how I'm living now and this is why I'm happy. Because yeah, money can buy happiness to an extent. Like, it's thanks to Patreon that I have enough money to invest in cosplays and live in the apartment that I do and take care of my cats and eat the food that I do and do all of the things that make me happy. But I don't need to buy any more happiness. Everything that I'm buying to live the life that I live right now is enough. And it's all that I want. And I find that when I reach for more, when I grasp for more, I become a victim to the more mindset. That I need more. I can be better. I can be prettier. I can be thinner. I can be this, like this more mindset that a lot of people like really get trapped in. And ever since I stopped focusing on this like more and just being happy with what I have, I am a happier person. Does that make sense? Oh my God. I've been live for 28 minutes. Okay, but like not technically 28 minutes, because how long did it take me to set up? What was it about cam that I didn't like? So the thing that I didn't like about cam, I don't know if I want to talk about it. Do I want to talk about it? There's only 14 people here. What didn't I like about cam? Okay, let me take a drink. So, ever since I got into this business, like, I grew up not very well off. I grew up on the welfare system. I've never had very much money. So the concept of cam, when I got into this business originally, my plan was to just be a model. I wanted to make photos, do creative. I wanted to do what I'm doing right now. But when I got into the business, that was not an option. You couldn't make money doing that. So I would do it as a hobby, and then a friend of mine told me about cam. And when they told me about cam, I was like, no, I would never do that. Like, that's not, because in my mind, I thought that it was like, oh, porn or nothing else. So that was kind of like keeping me from it. But then I watched a couple friends who like made the show their own. Some girls were getting naked, some girls weren't, and I was already a naked model. So in my mind, the fact that girls were signing on not getting naked at all and they were able to make money, that was like a really big deal for me. So that's what made me sign on. I think I'm having an internet issue. Is it back? Should I just... Okay, I'm not gonna go anywhere then. I'm gonna stay here. Okay, so in my mind, I was like, okay, so if I can create my own show, then I'll be happy as a cam girl. So when I started out as a cam girl, I used to like put a lot of effort into like my outfits and my looks, and like I used to play games and all of this stuff that made me feel creative, because I'm a very strong right brain thinker, and I value my creativity and my ability to be a creative above most things. My happiness very much comes from my ability to be creative. So when I started on cam, I used to do all of this creative stuff, and I quickly learned that the money was not so much in the creativity, and it was a lot more like in the connection with your audience, which this is why it's difficult to talk about, because I don't want people to like misunderstand. As you guys know, I am very close with my audience. I've always been like when I get into chats, for example, like this is supposed to be an hour chat. We all know this is gonna turn into 2.5 hours. We know how this goes, because I fucking love hanging out with you guys so much. But the problem with cam was it wasn't so much, okay, so like here on Patreon, I have a very concentrated audience of people who are interested in the things that I'm making. My audience here on Patreon and my audience on cam are two different audiences. There's a couple people that have come here from MFC, but for the most part, most of the people here came from like Instagram, DeviantArt, YouTube, sites where I would be creative. So it was like still very sexy stuff, which is always like my niche. That's like my image, that's my thing. But when it comes to camming, the audience that I would meet, it was like very highly sexual, which is fine. Again, it's my humor, blah, 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 whatever. But there's a certain amount of sexual that I just wasn't comfortable with. So when I would create relationships with people, which is like honestly the backbone of that career and this career being Patreon, that career being a cam girl, when I would make relationships with people, the people who I had relationships with didn't see much beyond my body, which, like, again, fine. I understand that there's a huge chunk of my audience that literally gives no shits about me, who I am, the things I'm creating. They just want to see tits. I get it. But ever since being on Patreon, sure, there's an audience of like people who want to see tits and whatnot, which is like, hi, me, I want to see tits all day. But I find that it's a lot more people that are like nerdy. They have more substance to them. They have things that they're like, you guys have things that you're interested in that go beyond just tits. And like when you work as hard as I do, because like I'm a total workaholic, I love to work constantly. I have a really insane work ethic. Like I'll lose sleep to work, not because I have to work, but because I love working. When you have the work ethic that I do and you're signing on cam all the time, it starts to feel very empty, very lonely, even though you have people there, because it's like the people here are paying for creative content. It's sexy content, but it's creative. So we're able to connect in a more personal way. On MFC, I would have the occasional person who like saw my modeling work and saw like my videos and stuff like that, but their main interest was a girl getting naked on cam, which again, fine, like I really feel like I have to tiptoe, but it's so hard to explain like the difference and why one made me happy and why one didn't. I just felt like I liked the people on cam, but I didn't love them. Whereas here on Patreon, the people that I did love on cam have come over here because they were interested in that stuff from the beginning. And the people that are here on Patreon are here for that. And ever since I started focusing on that, I started growing that. So before I was focusing on cam, so growing that audience of just like sex, 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 sex. But I didn't want just sex, sex, sex. I wanted sex, nerd, photography, modeling, makeup, like personal connection. And I wasn't getting that here. Whereas when I came over here, I was getting that. And I'm a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. I like to connect people. And I'll be honest with you, when it comes to my in real life, personal life, there's a small group of people that I give a fuck about. That's Rose, Gaunted, Johanse, my little fucking friend crew that you guys see on YouTube. And aside from that, I don't like people. I like people on the internet. Like I connect to the internet. So it's like, this is my social life. So for me to be on MFC versus being on Patreon, I'm choosing my social life. So I chose the Patreon social life. Does that make sense? It's like, cam was still a really good job. It still had really great people, but the quality of people here on Patreon is just better. And it would be like, I would have occasional people on MFC that were like the people here on Patreon, but they were a very small group that got drowned out and pushed to the side. Whereas here on Patreon, this group of people like loves creative shit and like is nerdy or like actually gives a shit about like where I bought my lingerie or like things like that is a much grander, like I feel like when I'm reading comments or when I'm talking to you guys, I'm actually connecting with you here versus on MFC where I felt like I had to force a connection and I felt like I'd sign on a Wednesday and all of my people were there and I think it was a great day. But then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday was like soul draining. So I would have like bursts of great days on MFC and then nothing but bad days that literally I would make a shit ton of money and I would go to the mall and spend it all because I thought that that was the answer to my happiness. Like I would just buy things, which was fun, but I don't just go buy things now and I'm much happier because like the connections, like every time that I talk to you guys, I'm connecting with someone. Okay. Let me read this chat room because I just went off on like a crazy rant and I can see you guys are like writing a lot. Okay. This is good. I love this. Okay. I appreciate you telling your story. You did some awesome shows. Oh, Threk. Good days. Oh man. See, but like people like Threk, you appreciated that shit. The thing was like I would sit down to do my makeup for 4 hours. Like to do like an epic show, like put glitter on my body, put all of this stuff on. It would take 4 hours to get ready. And then I would sit down in front of my cam and sometimes it would be like, oh, so this is a flop night. And then that night wouldn't go well. And then the next day I'd wake up, I'd put on some lashes, put on some brows, spend like an hour max getting ready, sign online. And that night I'd make $3,000. And it was like great that I just made $3,000, but soul crushing that when I put my entire soul and my entire being and everything that I care about into a show, nobody cared. Whereas here on Patreon, when I put my entire soul and being into creating something, people care. People are subscribing to it. People are like, yes, I understand why your nude print is $200. Yes, I understand why I'm paying $35 for a photo set and for your video. Yes, like people get it. Whereas on like it's just two very different audiences more than anything. I don't believe being a cam girl can make someone happy because you're being used. I mean, you can look at it as being used. See, I don't think that has anything to do with it because I had no problem with that because it's like the viewer is using my body and I'm using the viewer's wallet. So sounds like a pretty even trade. Also, I've always been really happy to show off my body. Like, I have no shame about that. What you do now is art. What you do, you can be happy and make money. It's not vulgar. It's sexy as hell. Thank you, Q. I agree. This is much more artful. I'm upping my monthly patronage. Bobs! Bobsy, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, go to happy with yourself, purely happy, not just fronting it. We are refined masturbators. That's actually so funny and semi-true. Like, honestly, I don't want people to misunderstand, because I very much like respect and love a perv and support porn and support cam girls, and honestly feel like I will always for the rest of my life have a piece cam girl inside of my heart. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be like 40 and I'm just gonna hop on cam one day and be a little fucking slut, because that's just my heart. Like, when people are like, oh, what you're doing now is more tasteful, I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, I don't really like that. I don't really like when people are like, oh, you're better because you're on Patreon, or oh, you're better because you're like, nobody's better than anybody. They're both very different jobs. It's just, what do you enjoy more? And whatever you enjoy more, I respect you for that. Like, go for what you love. I'm going to respect you for going for what you love, not what everybody else tells you to do. Does that make sense? Oh my God, I blubber when I sit down to talk to you guys. I really blubber. I need to vlog more, because like, I feel so out of touch with you guys. Definitely have a lot for the hard work and commitment you go for. All is totally understandable. Connections are needed and very special. Thank you, Lewis. Makes sense. Same, I work at an airport. I like people, but prefer not to be around them. You're being very polite. Cam girls are not treated like humans. They're a masturbation toy. I mean, yes and no. I think it depends on how, like, you run your cam room too. Because I ran a really tight ship on cam. Like, I was very specific with my audience, and like Threk can attest. I made sure that my audience was kind to me. I didn't put up with harassment. I never put up with haters. Elected me for a second, you were out. I never did anything on cam that I was uncomfortable with. Like, people would be like, oh, do this, do this fucking masturbation show, I'll pay you this much. And I'd be like, fuck you, you can pay me that much to smile. Like, that was my attitude on cam. So like, I never really felt like a masturbation toy. I felt like everything that I did on cam was like within myself. So like, that was never the problem. It was more the connecting with a kind of audience. So it's like, this audience, there's nothing wrong with them. If you just want to sign on and watch a girl get naked and like beat your meat, that's fine. It's a cam site. You go to expect that, and it's like totally understandable. Whereas here on Patreon, you go to expect that, like, sure, you're gonna get sexy girls, but these girls have like a very, what they want to do is like very different from what these girls want to do. And it's like, one, I don't think that one is less respectable than the other. I think both are equally as respectful. It's just like what you want to do and what kind of people you want to connect with. Like, I know a lot of cam girls who love living that like hot, they're making a shit ton of money, they sign online, they have like a meaningless, like semi, like superficial connection with their fans. They sign on, they let the guy beat his meat, they sign off, they go home, they take care of their babies, they pay for their school, they're getting their hair done, they're getting their nails done, they're buying designer bags, they're doing all this shit, and they're living a great life. And honestly, good for them. They're fucking the system. You know what I mean? Good for fucking them. But that wasn't me. I wasn't able to do that because my happiness is driven by my creativity, and I do very much feel like I'm a very emotional person, I'm a very social person, and I feel a connection with like just the internet. And when I'm out of sync with the people that are online that I'm communicating with, I'm unhappy. So it's like, both are great jobs. I would 110% cam again. It's just that I would do both for different reasons. So I don't want you guys to think like, oh, she left because she felt like a masturbation toy. Not at all. I don't care if I'm a masturbation toy. If you want to fap, if you're like beating your meat to this right now, whatever floats your fucking boat, man. Don't care. Whatever floats your boat. I work nights, so many less people. Glittery Vera, sign me up. Oh no, I'm so late. Honestly, nights varied, so much depressing on which people happen to be free that night. Yeah. Thank you, Kay. You're beautiful inside out. I love you. You love pervs? Yes, I love a perv. Of course. I'm a perv. Dude, I don't know if you noticed, but every girl I've ever met either becomes a cam girl or a nude model. That ain't for no reason. It's because it's something I'm very passionate about. Like, if you guys were to talk to Rose, like if Rose ever does a Q&A, ask her, what's Vera like when she talks about the business? Ask her that question, because like my soul comes alive. Like, I love pervs, absolutely. I would say this kind of takes out the middleman that I just care for making money on you, even though that is part of the business. Not on here, it's straight you, not someone's idea of your persona. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I found, like, again, being a cam girl, fun, but I found that it changed who I was a lot, because it would be like, oh, okay, so the chat room doesn't like this, so that means I can't be this person, right? Whereas on Patreon, I can be whatever the fuck I want. Like, I'll do, for example, I'm really into like gothic stuff, which I know a lot of people online, like a lot of guys don't like, and they don't find it sexy. But like Halloween comes along and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do a demon. And I post that photo on Instagram and I put hours into it. I spent 6 hours getting ready. I had no help. I body painted myself. The night before, I stayed up all night cutting and sewing and creating a wig. I like hot glued these big like devil horns on. I did this whole thing. I did this like skull makeup. I put all of my effort and all of my soul into this really cool demon look. And when I post it on Instagram, it probably has the lowest interaction. Now, in your mind, you're like, who cares if it doesn't get likes? Because, like you said, Vera, you're doing things for your soul. But in order to do things for my soul, I still have to pay for those things. And if I don't get likes, that means that how often I show up in someone's feed goes down, which means I have less chance of getting patrons. So, like, if I'm doing well on Instagram, I'm doing well on Patreon. They literally go hand in hand. Hold on. Trying to find, I want music in the background. So it's like, I would post this demon photo, it would get no likes, and it would be like, well, fuck, that's going down. But then I'd go on Patreon, and everyone's freaking out. They love the demon. They're so excited about it. But that's because I'll have like this many followers, but every follower followed me for a different reason. Whereas patrons decided I like all of her stuff. I like all of her stuff. I'm happy to put my money forward and support what she's doing because I like what she does. It's like, when you think about it, if I have, I don't know, what do I have right now? I have over 700,000 followers on Instagram. If I have 700,000 followers on Instagram, but only 410 patrons, that's a pretty huge difference. That's like, this is how many people are happy to consume content for free, which is fine. But this many people, 400 people, literally think my work is good enough that they're gonna put their hard-earned money. They go to work, they fucking work their asses off all day so that they can come home, have a meal, sit back on their computer, and look at my content. Like, that's like mind-blowing that anybody would be willing to actually like put $1 down. You know what I mean? So it's like, the most fulfilling thing about being on Patreon is knowing that even though I post this demon photo on Instagram and it gets half as many likes as every other photo, when I go on Patreon, not only are those people excited about that thing that I created, but they're fucking putting $1 down. You know? So it's like, sure, I'm hustling for these likes on Instagram so that my business will do well. And it's nice to see people enjoying what I'm creating and whatnot. But when I come on Patreon, it's like so much more appreciation, and it's so much more like, it's very fulfilling. It's very personally fulfilling. Hold on, I lost the chat room. Here it is, I found it. That demon look was amazing. Thank you, Felicia. I love really creative looks like the demon or the unicorn. Thank you, Kay. I am back. Welcome back, Vince. That's true, because I followed you and Clara and a few others for a long time before I decided to become a patron. Thank you, Nicole. Instagram is too family friendly. Your taste is too refined for the average public. I like your choice of words. Best decision I made. Nicole! I love you! Look at those exclamation points. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you're a very relatable person. I check my AOL email regularly, and one big reason is to get notifications. Thank you, Albert. I follow you because I know you put your heart into it. Baby, happy to support you. See, this is what I'm talking about. I really love your content. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about too. Like, okay, I'll go on Instagram. I've been doing the social media thing for like 8 years now. Like, I know some of you don't realize I've been in the game for that long, but I've been doing this for 8 years. And when I started the job, I had less fans. So when I would get messages, they would be a lot more intimate. It would be a lot more like, oh, you're doing really well. I love what you did on this shoot, blah, blah, blah. So in the beginning of the job, it was very fulfilling. Then when money and fame starts to happen, it's like, okay, cool, I'm getting fame. Okay, cool, I'm getting money. And those are great. But me, my fans, okay, so you start out, you're really fucking close together. You're sandwiched because it's just you and them, and there's like no sea of people to like, for them to try and get through. It's just you and them. So I read the comments, and I literally get the comments directly, okay? Fame and money starts to happen. So you kind of like, space starts to be created, because now I'm A, focused on the work, and B, now there's a sea of comments, and the comments are like, so hot, really pretty, great work, and then like this awesome comment of substance. So I find that when I go on Instagram, I'm like, of course I appreciate all of the people that are like thumbs up and emoji. I mean, I'll be honest, when I look at Instagram, I'm just leaving thumbs ups and emojis all fucking day, because it's just scroll culture. But then you'll get the occasional person that stops on your page and like lingers and is like, I like this person. And I generally find that I'll connect with those people, because like they'll leave comments that are like really nice. But like the more comments that I get, like if I go over to my Instagram right now, my last picture, I don't know how many comments it has, but it has over 100. That's a lot to scroll. I don't always have time to sit there and scroll. But then when I got Patreon, now like I'm sitting in this chat room right now, and everything that you guys are saying is like filling my fucking heart. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you directly. So it's kind of like when I started. Like sitting here in this chat room, being on Patreon and talking to you guys, it's like when I started. Because it's like, okay, I'm directly connecting with these people. This is like so fucking fulfilling. It's very intimate. You know what I mean? Like I can name, when I sign off later, I can be like, oh yeah, I was in my chat room yesterday, like talking to my sister. I was in my chat room and I met this guy, Paku or Pakoof, and Thruck was there, and like Vince, and like, you know what I mean? Like I can talk about you by name because we had like this experience, which is like the other amazing thing about Patreon. Whereas like when I was at MFC, I wasn't able to just like sit here and connect, because every second I had to hustle. Whereas it's like right now the money's already there. You guys paid at the beginning of the month. So I don't have to sit here and be like, you have to tip for me to continue this conversation, which is like the shitty part about camming. Like everything you do, you have to make sure people are actively tipping you. Otherwise you're not going to make enough to everything, or you're not going to make enough to make you happy enough to be doing what you're doing on cam. You know what I mean? Whereas here it's like, I already know that I'm getting this much money. So it's like if I sit here, I can relax, I can chill, and I can just like be with my people and not be like, oh guys, don't forget to tip. Oh guys, don't forget to tip. Oh guys, don't forget to tip. Which is, it gets exhausting. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to sit there and be like, tip me, tip me, tip me, tip me, just to like make sure I can get a fucking paycheck. I love just like chilling and being like, yo, so let's do this fucking Q&A. You know what I mean? By the way, I have a bunch of Q&A questions from you guys to read. Like when I saw the questions, I was like, oh shit, I can't just type out answers to this. This is a fucking Q&A. All right, let me read. I really love your content. Every month you impress me. Bam fam forever. Patreon. Thank you, Nanner. Thank you, thank you. Some of us actually saw you wearing Sonic in person. Yo, those were the days. I should bring Sonic back, especially now that I got like the new tatties, the new tutays. I think it's super cool that you're helping Rose grow too. That, my girl, is a great big sister. Honestly, Vince, Rose makes me very happy. Like, Rose is such a positive light in my life. Like, I'm helping her grow, but she's helping my happiness, which has, as you guys can tell, has been a huge focus for me. Like, over the past year, it's just been like, Vera, your happiness is important. Let's like live a happy life. You have to be smart. You should post Instagram like content on Instagram, and you should like content on YouTube. But you can use those places to tease special people like us, so we can find your Patreon. I do my best. I think I do pretty good with that. Do you ever check the Patreon messages? So the way that the Patreon inbox works, the way that the Patreon inbox works, if I open any messages, because when I started Patreon, I did my best to like open them here and there, like when I wasn't like on the go or liking content and stuff. When I open a message, it marks it as read, and there's no way to mark it as unread. So the way that I've been doing it is that we use the Patreon inbox only for technical stuff. So if you guys have an inquiry about like, where is your package, or like what Peku was asking earlier, like, where's my stuff? Why haven't I gotten my videos yet? That stuff goes to the inbox, and then like Roxy before, we have a new assistant now, Christina will read the messages and she'll get back to everybody. It's also become increasingly time consuming for me to try and respond to people. So currently, I respond to my comments. So all of the comments that are on Patreon, I read and I respond to myself. All of the inbox messages go to the assistant. I do know that like you guys want to have more personal experiences like this, for example. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do to make that work, especially since I'm not a cam girl anymore, because I feel like before, when I was a cam girl, I had a tighter connection with you guys. Like, I would have like shitty days, but then on the good days, I would actually be able to talk to you guys because like I was there, like I am right now, or like even doing this. So I'm trying to figure out a way that I can be more in touch with you guys, because there has been like a distance that's sort of created, and I miss that closeness. Some people were saying that I should join Discord. My problem with Discord is that like I'm insanely busy, guys. Like, I wake up, like I'm fucking go, work. I have so much going on. And Discord would be a lot for me to organize and manage. And someone did message me and say, you know, I can set up a Discord for you and I can manage it. But it wasn't like a guaranteed I can manage it. It was like, I can manage it when I have time. And I understand you guys have jobs and you have your own thing to do. So it's like, if I do something that allows, like that opens the communication more so that I can talk to you guys, it needs to really, really make sense so that content is not being set behind. Like, I'm trying to get ahead right now. You know what I mean? So, but a part of my trying to get ahead is for that, so that I can open up like the gates. Are you still in touch with Teeks? I've messaged Teeks a couple times on Twitter, Threk, but like he doesn't really come around anymore. You got me into Patreon by doing your Valentine photos with the lavender roses. I love that set with the bathtub and whatnot. Yo, Valentine's was fun. It's funny when you say Pekoof. When I registered that account on YouTube, I just hit the keyboard with my elbow. Now I'm Pekoof. Love that. Sonic is still my favorite of all your costumes. I would love if you remade it. It'd be a good one. I actually love Rose so much. She's so funny and lovely. Rose is the best. There's people who have pages that I want to connect to on a more human connection, who just straight up don't respond and miss out on possible collaboration, like you said. That's what makes you unique. It becomes really hard, James, especially because it's like, before I used to focus, like, I'll give you guys a little bit of inside information. I actually have like an addiction and a problem when it comes to like communicating with you guys, which I know that you're thinking like, how is that an addiction? But I'll explain in a moment. So I have like this social media addiction because it's like, this is my social life, is on the computer, and it can get increasingly unhealthy for me. I found that at one point in my career, I was spending a lot of time sitting and responding to messages. And I remember this one day, it really hit me because like I woke up super early in the morning. It was like 6 a.m. and I started my day like responding to people on Twitter, and then I went about it. I brushed my hair, brushed my teeth, did my makeup, responded to people. By 6 o'clock in the morning the next day, I was still on my computer responding to people. And one of my managers were like, what did you get done today? And I was like, well, I didn't really get any work done, but I got like a lot of personal time in with my audience. And they were like, okay, well, that's great and everything, but what about your content? Your Instagram went down, this, blah, 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 blah. So it's like finding the balance between like conversation and working. And once I start talking to people, I really do, like, I have a fucking, like, a problem. I have a problem putting it down. It's almost like a fucking, I have an addictive personality. Like, I come from, like, a family of, like, drug abuse and, like, all sorts of stuff. So, like, it's really easy for me to, like, cling on to something that I like and become addicted to it. So then it got to a point where I was like, oh, okay, so I'm just like, not spend an entire fucking day. I'm going to make sure that I'm getting things done. So this one time, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this task, and this task today. So like, let's just say I'm going to do like a photo shoot. I'm going to make sure that I edit a YouTube video, and then I'm going to like make sure that I queue content for like the next four fucking days or whatever. So at the end of my work day, when I had gotten everything done, I decided to time myself, and I was timing myself based on like being very diligent and quick. And it was like, okay, go to Twitter, respond to comments, go to YouTube, respond to comments, go to Instagram, respond to comments, go to DeviantArt, respond to comments, so on and so forth. And by the time that I was finished, very quickly poking in, responding to as many people as possible, and then leaving, I had clocked 6 hours. So it's like the amount of people, like now versus when I started, it's really, really hard to get back to everybody. So like this right here, this chat that we're having, this has been the most intimate experience I've been able to have with you guys in like a really long time, just because like there's so many people. And like, I love it, but it's also kind of crazy because it's like, how is it possible that I could spend 6 hours just responding to comments? You know what I mean? And that's just like responding to comments, not getting into conversations. That's just like, you see a comment like, I love Rose so much, and then me responding, Rose is my fucking heart, blah, 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 saying nice about Rose, and then moving on to the next person. Because I'm also like on Instagram, I'll leave a lot of emojis and stuff as responses to people, because it's like, it'll just be like, you're hot. So I respond with a heart. You know what I mean? But then when somebody says something of substance, I like grab onto it and I'm like, oh, let's have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like I have this addiction to like talking to people. I don't know. I know that sounds crazy. Anyways, there's people with pages. So those people who have pages, like, honestly, they're managing their time really well. Like the fact that they're able to like look at their comments and move on, like that like takes a lot. Cause like when people are talking to you about you or like things that you're interested in, it's really hard to just like walk away from it. It's really true how relatable you are. I'm finally starting to slowly find my people who are just as weird, dorky, nerdy, more than just looks. Thank you, Nicole. Don't forget coffee. Dude, I don't need coffee when I got you guys. You guys give me so much energy. I'd like to go to a higher level of patronage, but don't want to get stuff mailed to me. Is that possible? So Bob, I relate to this because I subscribe to my friend Joni and I keep getting packages and I just want to give her the money. Like I just want to support cosplays. I don't want her to spend money on like shipping and stuff. I totally know what you're saying. So there's a section on Patreon where you can pledge not to any tier, but I don't know if that would block you from the blog tier. You know what? I should write that down. Hold on. I'm writing this down so I can message Patreon because it would suck if you couldn't, like if you went up to a higher tier, but then you couldn't see the blog. You know what I mean? Or like you couldn't get the digital content. Because you should still be able to get that, but if you don't want something in the mail, oh wait, no, I know how. Sorry, sometimes I'm slow. Okay, so in the section that you go to get a tier, so say you want tier 3, That's the rewards that you want. You want to get the digital rewards to your email, but you don't want mailed stuff. So if you want tier 3, what you do is you click on tier 3, and instead of putting $35 in the tier 3 section, you put how much money you want to give, and that will put you in tier 3. So you can be in tier 3, and instead of contributing 35, you can contribute 60. Like, it will allow you to do that. Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes I'm an idiot. Hope Roxy's doing well. Roxy is doing very well. Roxy and I are still friends. I'm going to talk to you guys about that later because, like, I have to talk to her, make sure she's comfortable with me talking about it before I talk about it. Christina is working out nicely. Christina is lovely. The Valentine's set is my fave. Ugh. Some of the pictures from the Valentine's set, man, they're like my faves. Girl, we're always here for you. Love your content. Thank you, Lauren. What's up with that Sonic cosplay? Is it better than the Vampirella one? That was epic. Maybe because I'm Brazilian and we're all about a nice butt. The Sonic covered a little bit more of the butt and it had tights. You should Google it. Just Google like Vera Bambi Sonic. It was before my boob job. Like I had much smaller boobs and it was basically like a blue bodysuit with like a hole cut right here. So it was like front under boob. So that was pretty cool. I'm such a perv. I'm like, by the way, there was a window and it had front under boob instead of being like, so this is what the costume looked like. It was actually, I actually dyed my hair just for that costume, which is one of the reasons I haven't done it yet, because it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna like a blue wig, because it was cool that it kind of looked like the sides of my head were shaved, and then I had like all of this mess going on that was all blue. It looks really nice. That's what makes you so great. You care about the fans. You know what, Vince? That is great for like these moments so that I can enjoy being in a chat room with you. But sometimes it's really detrimental to my health. Because like I'll get so attached to you guys sometimes. But you know what though, like usually when I have like a positive relationship with you guys, that relationship is positive, and then I'll just like have a random person that's an asshole. I just have to learn to like separate the good from the bad, where it's like, okay, this person's an asshole, let it go. They're literally just here to troll on you. Sometimes I have a hard time with that because it's like, I do spend a lot of time and I do put a lot of my personal self, and then have somebody come in and be an asshole and say things to me like, oh, she doesn't care about her fans, or like that triggered me. I don't know if you guys saw that YouTube video, but this one guy was like, Vera doesn't respond to her comments as much as she used to, and I literally made a video ranting about how much time I spend responding, and that was like one of the things, like it's just like not good for my mental health sometimes. It was nice chatting with you, Vera, but I have to go, unfortunately. No, I don't think I got to say goodbye to Felicia. Well, Felicia, if you're still here, goodbye. Or if you watch this video back later, Felicia, goodbye, and thank you for attending. That addition isn't particularly a bad thing. It's just a sign of a good heart. I love you, Vince. Hate to go, but 3:05 a.m. night owl duties calling. Is it? What's? Where are you guys? It's like 3 a.m. for some people. It's 10 p.m. here. I mean, all around the world. If there's a chance along, love and peace, Vera. Thank you, Lewis. If you return to watch this later, thank you for coming. Not crazy at all. Another aspect of your amazing personality. Better than is pretty subjective. All Vera's costumes are amazing. Vampirella is my personal second favorite. Yo, you guys love Vampirella. I get the most comments about Vampirella, Princess Peach, Mary Jane. Like, people don't get sick of those, which is great, because Princess Peach was expensive. Vampirella was kind of expensive, but not really. It was more just about getting it to like fit my body properly. The Mary Jane was so fucking cheap. It was so fucking cheap. It's like, you guys always love the costumes that cost nothing. Which is fine. The ones that cost nothing can fund the ones that cost a lot. Both is somewhat unusual character to cosplay. She had an awesome and interesting take on that costume. Thank you. I just patronized Rose too. That's a really funny way to say that. Also, Bob, thank you so much for supporting my sister. I appreciate that so much. Rose and I want to start doing like projects together. So like if we can have the same patrons and stuff and like kind of develop that relationship where we're like a community, like her, me, and like our fans, that is so exciting because like we really want more support of us together so that we can like do stuff together. Inspector Gadget may be my new favorite. Pretty awesome. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, thank you. You say you're a perv, but that post you made not too long ago comes to mind. You said you either know I'm kidding around or think I want to fuck you. I think that my quote was, you either get my sense of humor or you think I'm trying to fuck you. Either way, hi. It's my joke. Sorry. And also very accurate. You're such a sweetheart. I can't wait to meet you. Thank you, Kay. Oh my god. Where am I gonna meet you, Kay? What con do you go to? Jace Stewart. Hey, Bam Fam. Black Mage to be here. What up, Black Mage? Miss your live streams. Aw. Hope you got my Patreon. Aw, Jace. Dude. Yo, I want to get back on Twitch. Twitch finally paid me, eh? That's a whole fuck. I have so much to fill you guys in on. I have so fucking much to fill you in on. Have you ever thought about doing try-ons on YouTube? You have lots of cool, high-quality stuff to wear. Yes and no. Here's the thing. Try-on videos take like a lot of time. And to do a try-on video the way that I want is more directed at a female audience than at a dude audience. Like, I know you guys want to see me, like, try on little outfits and, like, pose around and show off my body and stuff, which is, I get it. I'm a perv, too. I feel you. But it's just, like, a lot of hours to put into a video for doing that. Like, I'd much rather just, like, make the sexy videos that I make every month on Patreon. It's just too much. So I have thought about doing them, but only in a sense of like catering to the female audience. Like, oh, this is where I bought it. This is how much it costs, like stuff like that. Whereas I know what you guys are looking for. You're looking for me like jumping around and shaking my little butt and like stuff like that. It's 7:14 here in LA. Wish I could have met you while you were out here or told you a place you need to eat. Yo, when I go to LA, my time is like fucking blocked. Like within a day of me saying I'm coming to LA, shit books up. Like, I really, really think I need to move to LA or at least live there for part of the year. See, that's what money could buy me, to be honest. Is like a second apartment, one in LA, one here. Are you going to Wizard World Comic-Con in August? I would love to meet the mastermind behind the badass Patreon. Where's Wizard World? I don't think so. No, in August I have Toronto Fan Expo. Witchblade cosplay. I get asked for that one a lot. That's a pervy one, so you know I'd be interested. Any like fucking naked cosplay, I'm in. I think it makes people not like me. You're the absolute greatest fan, Perella. Thank you so much. You guys are like fucking blowing smoke up my ass. Oh, in Chicago. Oh, no. The only one in Chicago I do is C2E2. It's because the cheap ones are more realistic. Yeah, I feel that because, like, the cosplays that have, like, less going on that are more affordable, it's more like, I guess, the girl next door kind of thing and whatnot. You guys need to do you as Ash and Rose as Pikachu. I would do that. Rose is working on a Pikachu on her Patreon right now. She's doing, like, this, like, I think it's like this war rebel or something. I need to ask her more about it. She showed me, she posted a picture on her Patreon of the pants. I need to subscribe to her Patreon actually, because I was sitting in my living room and she was scrolling her Patreon and I was like, why don't I get your Patreon updates? And she was like, you only have the $1 tier. And I was like, ew, how dare I? Like obviously anybody who has the $1 tier, thank you, everything counts, but like why would I only have the $1 tier for Rose when she's like my BFF? Slacking, Vera, so I need to like upgrade so I can see her blog. Bob Z, happy to support you both. This is the first time I've watched a live stream and it's been so enlightening. I hope that's a good thing. Sometimes I feel like I'm too honest and like I'll pop, because I'm like a waterfall of word vomit. And I feel like I almost reveal too much of myself and it makes people dislike me. Or it makes them like me. I don't know. Hopefully it makes you guys like me because I'm not good at like not being me. That word, it's been enlightening. I'm like, oh no. Oh no! It's been enlightening. Shit, Fan Expo. Do I get to come see you each day or is that a no-no? Yes! Yo, if you meet me at a convention, come every single day. Here's the thing, when I go to a convention, I make sure that I show up in a way that if you came every day, you would be entertained. Like, I don't wear the same cosplay 2 days in a row. Unless something happened to a cosplay, like it broke last minute, or like I couldn't bring it on the plane for some reason or whatever, I bring a costume for every single day so that you can come and you can get a photo and I can do my little spinny thing for you and we can have a conversation. So don't be fucking shy to come to my booth every single day of Fan Expo. When you come every day, I'm like, this motherfucker committed. This motherfucker, my people. By the way, you on Patreon? Would you have a calendar of events that you will this year? And you can come to Brazil. Okay, so if you want me to come to a convention in your area, you have to like notify that convention. So they'll have like a website or a Facebook page and you just message them and be like, bring Vera Bambi, bring Vera Bambi, bring Vera Bambi. Because if you don't request me, I can't come. I can't afford to go to like every single convention as much as I wish that I could. You can also sponsor conventions, but that costs like $6 grand. Like it's a lot of money to get a cosplayer out to a convention to like travel, bring all of their stuff, get their time in, be able to cover their work hours, their assistants' work hours. Like it's a lot. So you could sponsor it, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would honestly just be like, you and your friends harass a convention. Good that Twitch finally paid you. I know. I don't know what happened, but I got a fucking paycheck out of nowhere. And I was like, I've been waiting for this for like fucking 7 months. Thank you. Anyways, even at 3 a.m., I'm always here to support my Bam Bam. Aw, thank you, Jace. Okay, I've always dropped by Vera's booth each day at Fan Expo. Damn straight he does. You should hire an editor for your YouTube channel. YouTube's a great business nowadays, and I'm not talking about extra sexy stuff. You can be sexy. Yeah, I know that YouTube's good. Like, I've been considering hiring an editor, but again, it's expensive. Right now, with what I'm making on Patreon, I'm making enough to maintain my happiness and have a good life and be able to make content, but I'm not making enough to like cover everything and pay the tax bill that I have coming up. So like what some people know is I have like an $85,000 tax bill coming up from all of the years that I was a cam girl and didn't pay my taxes just due to like it's a long story. It's a long story. I'll tell it another day. It's honestly too much. And it's just emotionally exhausting to go through that story. But I owe $85,000 to the government right now. And so it's like to invest more money in hiring on more people. Like I already have enough people hired on right now. I can't take on anymore as much as I would love an editor. But at the same time, I also enjoy editing YouTube videos. But I've also come to the conclusion that it's impossible for me to do everything that I'm doing and edit YouTube videos. Because like editing a YouTube video can take like 6 hours, 10 hours, depending on the video. You know what I mean? Like 2 hours sometimes, which is not a big deal. But like editing videos takes a really long time. So I would like to hire somebody, but one, who do I hire that I can afford? And two, literally couldn't even hire to fucking pay somebody $100 right now, which is not what you pay an editor. You have to pay a lot more than that. It was meant as a compliment. You're very articulate and interesting. Thank you, Bob. Defo makes us like you more. I follow her on pretty much everything because of you. We're friends now. Aw, that's great, Vince. Lol, no, this is entertaining. I'm painting shoes for my cosplay crunch due Thursday. Good distraction. Ooh, I'm your background for working on cosplay. That's so dope. I love that. I came here for a sexy live stream, but I got a nice conversation with a cool person. Got my pants back, a glass of wine, and I'm not even looking at the stream. I'm just, aw, that's fucking dope, Piku. Thank you. I love that. That makes me really happy. That makes me so happy. I think I'm going to Fan Expo this year. I want to meet you and Rose so bad. We want to meet you, Vince. We want to meet you. This is just what I needed after a crazy work day. Thanks so much. Have to go to bed. That makes me so happy. Have a good night, Daryl. Thank you. Honestly, Rose and I were talking about this today. How like the best thing ever is like when we sign on to talk to you guys and we're chilling and you're like, just had a crazy stressful day. This was really what I needed. Like when you want to be an entertainer for a living, that is like the goal, to have somebody be like, had a stressful day, this turned my day around. So thank you for telling me that, Daryl. That makes me really happy. I've been at work this whole time, but I'm getting too busy now. Gotta love you and leave you, girl. Okay, good night, Kay. By the way, your Mary Jane is my favorite cosplayer. Maybe the Princess Peach, but not when you eat chili peppers. I want to talk about that in a minute. An editor should be cheap. I can edit hours of video in minutes, even if it's raw or a ProRes file anyways. Editors really aren't cheap, like especially when you have like really high quality expectations. Like if I was gonna hire an editor, I'd need to see like a portfolio of work that they've already done. I'd need to see that like I can give this person my content and be confident that when they produce it, it's gonna reflect my personality, that it's gonna make me happy. You know what I mean? So like it's like, oh, I can edit stuff for free. Like that feels like really good. But then when you get the video back, you're like, I don't want to post this because it doesn't really like highlight you in the way that, so it's like you really need like a good portfolio. And it's like once you start having expectations of people, you have to pay them. You know what I mean? Like I can't accept somebody working on a video for me spending the amount of time that I expect in my YouTube videos. Because it's like I said, Paku, I'm not about just pumping out a shit ton of content for no reason. It really has to have soul in it. That's who I am. Today was hectic. Must have happened for a reason. I got fired today for no damn reason, and then Patreon pops up to say you're streaming. Oh, Jace. Yo, okay, slightly dark turn, but with a happy ending, so that's good. I'm so sorry to hear that you got fired. Hopefully you didn't want to stay at the job. Why would you get fired? I don't want to get into like a sad conversation. I want to keep things positive. Because if you got fired and then you came here and you're feeling it's the best end to a really crappy day, I want to continue that positivity. So I'm sorry that you got fired, baby. And I'm really happy that you've enjoyed the chat room. That means a lot to me. I have so many things I've been wanting to talk to you about. I don't know what to ask about. You're probably my favorite cosplayer. Oh, Vince. Yo, just ask me anything, man. When will your store be online? I really wanted the hood. Nanner, I was supposed to get it up at the beginning of this month. And I haven't even been able to touch on it. Like, but that was because I had like a bunch of travel plans come up like super last minute when I was supposed to be working on the shop. Over the next 3 months, I have declined all travel plans. Like anybody who wants to travel me out, the answer is no. Just so that I can focus on, I want to get ahead on Patreon. I want to get my store back up. So I can't give you a date because the first time I gave people a date, I wasn't able to deliver. So I don't want to give a date again and then not be able to deliver. The thing is, it's like, it's just me here and my assistant. And like for all of the work that gets done here, it's honestly not enough people. Like, I wish that I could show you a behind the scenes of how crazy like this job and this life is, because it's so fucking crazy. Like the hours are so insane. So it's like I can be like, oh yeah, I can get my shop up on this day, no problem. But then all of a sudden in like 2 days, a laundry list of fucking tasks comes out and I'm like, fuck, I have how many days to get that done? You know what I mean? Like everything always has a deadline and it always comes out of the woodwork like last minute. Like it's kind of crazy. So I don't want to say this is when the store is going to be out again, because I don't want to fail on it. However, over the next 3 months, I'm going to be doing my best to like get ahead on Patreon so that months are like ready to go rather than like literally ready to go at the end of the month. I don't want things ready at the end of the month. I want them ready like 2 months in advance. You know what I mean? So doing my best to get ahead on Patreon, gonna launch the store, gonna be working on some other secret projects, and then hopefully laying the foundation for doing the calendar. so long as we get our patrons. We need 450 patrons for that calendar, guys. Tell your friends. Make your friends join. Be like, Vera's gonna do calendar. We need calendars. I don't know why anyone would want a calendar of me. So I'm having a really hard time thinking of how to sell it. Because we want a calendar. Just, yo, we want a calendar. So join her Patreon. She has cleavage. And she cosplays Mary Jane. And her content's alright, man. She does great videos. Yeah, tell them I do great videos. That's a great question. I wanted to ask about BAM apparel. Oh, I was thinking of doing Jiraiya from Naruto. I actually don't know Naruto, but I haven't finalized my decision though this past. Wow, I'm having a dyslexic moment. Just give me a minute. My dyslexia is showing. Haven't finalized my decision though. This past SakuraCon went as King Yama. My cosplay game has to improve though. That's the fun thing about cosplay, is that you're constantly in a state of like, I need to do better. I need to do better. It's very motivating. Are you curious about what kind of supporters you have? Like their personal life and stuff, their country, profession? I would. Talking to anonymous people is kind of creepy. I don't think it's creepy at all. But I'm like a person of the internet. I'm a creep behind my computer, like just like people watching and like scrolling pages and like obsessing over people. Like if you saw the content that I watch and the stuff that I communicate with, you'd think that I'm a creep, to be honest. So I get curious, of course. Like that's why I love having chats like this and like asking people about themselves and whatnot. And I'm just like people curious in general. Like I would say that my biggest obsession is people and personalities. Like I love different personalities and capabilities and like brains and like just like the way that different people work. I have a fascination with it. Yeah, I don't think it's creepy. My manager was a cow, couldn't stand her. I love your hearts you make. You always make me smile. Need to get you to the UK for a con. Oh, thank you, Jace. Well, good, Jace. I'm glad you got fired then. That sounds so cold. But no, here's the reality, Jace. I'm so happy that you got fired, because if your manager is Cal and she was making you unhappy and she was a bitch or like whatever, there's a better fucking life out there for you, and everything happens for a reason, and this is your fucking, one door closes, another door opens. The door just fucking opened for you. Get out there and get a fucking better job that's gonna make you happier, or become an entrepreneur, or like just fucking follow your dreams, man. Fuck a cow. Fuck a cow. Okay, first many questions. What do you think your next tattoo will be and where? Don't know. Working on removal first. Patreon question. Are you looking forward? Hold on. Are you looking forward to the move and living with Rose? Definitely. Definitely. I feel like, okay, so when I came to do this chat, I was going to answer all the questions that are on Patreon right now. And we're 85 minutes, or sorry, we're 89 minutes into the chat right now, and I haven't even looked at those questions. So I'm going to breeze through this chat really quickly and then open those. Next week, cosplay, Katana. Power just came back on. I'm buying it the second you have it available. No lie. I'm psyched for Katana. Voyeur or exhibitionist? Which one is you? Can't be both. I don't know what's a voyeur and what's an exhibitionist. What is that? I'll get back to that. I have the hiccups. Whew. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put this chat to the side for a second. And I'm gonna open up the questions, because you guys asked a lot of great fucking questions. And I was like, shit, I can't just like that was the whole point of this chat, was like, I can't just respond to these in a post. I have to turn on my webcam. We have to fucking have a chit chat. Oh, you know what, guys? Okay. The chat room's gonna say offline. I'm not offline. I'm just gonna post a little advertisement really quickly on Instagram to let people know that we're in the chat room. but I'm not offline. I'm still here, okay? I'm not going anywhere. It's just gonna say I'm offline. Okay, BRB. I was gonna do like a little advertisement thing so that people knew that I was here, and then I forgot, and then I was like, oh fuck, I'm 90 minutes into this, but that's okay, because we're gonna chill for a little while longer. I'm not in any rush to leave. I'm enjoying this chill time, even though I have like a shit ton of shit to do. I have to clean my apartment actually, because things got very, very out of hand. Not too out of hand, but I have like clothes to steam. I have an outfit to repair. I got shit to do. Oh, I've got a big shoot this weekend. Oh, I want to tell you about it, because when I tell you guys, you're gonna be so fucking pumped. Oh wait, where did everyone go? It says there's only 4 people here. Why does it say there's only 4 people here? Where did everyone go? A voyeur likes to watch, an exhibitionist loves to show off. If I could only choose one, I'm a voyeur. But I am both. Like in real life, voyeur and exhibitionist is my entire fucking life. It's my whole obsession to be both. But if I could only choose one, voyeur. Yeah, it says 13 now. So I guess people left and then rejoined? I don't know. Okay, hold on. So let me find the questions that you guys asked on Patreon before. So I'm going to the post where I told you guys to ask me questions. I'm like trying to make my nipple not pop out right now. I'm so proud. I've been posting a lot. The fact that I have to scroll to find this is making me happy. Okay, wow. 38 questions. Okay. I'm not going to answer them all because 38 is a lot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this aside so I can see the chat room. Cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll, and if a question looks interesting, not to say that you guys asked any uninteresting questions, because there's a lot of like really great stuff here. I'm just not going to answer stuff that I've already answered 100 times. I'm going to be like, oh, I've never answered this question, and then answer that. Hold on, let me loading more comments. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Vince, is this Vince Manzo? That's the same Vince that's in the chat room right now, right? Yes, Vince Manzo. Okay, so Vince, I'm going to answer your question. What are you most excited for this year? It could be an upcoming convention, some new content you're looking forward to making, or the fact that you're moving in with Rose. Okay. Really looking forward to this Katana cosplay, number 1. I've been wanting to do this for so long. First of all, she's super sexy, but she's also like, she's gonna take like a lot of work to make her. So it's one of those cosplays where it's both like skill level, the love for the art, but also the sex factor. So it's like, she's the best of both worlds for me, plus big Street Fighter, or sorry, I just said Street Fighter. Fake nerd alert! Mortal Kombat. Vera's been clocked. Big Mortal Kombat fan. And the X outfit is really good. So I was either thinking of like doing the X outfit or basing it off of the X outfit. I'm not 100% sure. And I have decided, because like it's gonna take a lot to make this costume exactly the way that I want it, it's gonna be more of like a collaborative effort where I'm going to be commissioning somebody to do like the fans and the outfit, and I'm going to be going in and being like, okay, so this adjustment needs to be blah, 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 whatever. So mainly somebody else is making it. I'll probably do the wig because I always do the wigs. So I'm really excited about that. I love working with someone else too, because again, just more, I love people. I'm also mad crazy looking forward to living with Rose. Like, Rose and I have been obsessing over the fact that, like, when we live together, we're going to be able to make so much content just because it's going to be easier having somebody, like, with you. So, really, really looking forward to that. And Rose and I, like, I love Rose's company. She's a battle princess. Princess Katana. Just pics, Pakoof. And it was like, when I started, honestly, I don't like to point out Suicide Girls. I'll point it out because it was like the beginning of my career. But the reason I don't like to point it out is because it was like a really awkward stage of my modeling. And it was kind of when I just started. And I honestly don't think I'm very attractive in my Suicide Girl photos. I'm actually kind of like embarrassed by them. Just because I was just not skilled. I mean, in one way, it's cute. Because, like, oh, look at, you know, baby Vera. Her first steps as a model. But, like, for me as a model, it's, like, mortifying. So if you do look at my Suicide Girls, just don't tell me. Because it literally mortifies me. But feel free. It's on the internet. It's out there. Nick News, MC, Suicide Girls. I did a couple magazines, like I did Leg Show teaser. I don't fucking know what it was called. Some underground magazine that was connected to Leg Show. Tattoo Life, Bazaar magazine. What else have I been in? I used to be on other sites, like I did like Extra Lunch Money and stuff, but that stuff's not around anymore. I was on God's Girls very briefly. Again, horrible photos. Honestly, no, because once I left the working for other people and working for myself, I enjoyed working for myself more. So I was just like, nah. So anytime like somebody offered me like a job, I was like, nah, I'll pass. I'm very like self-driven. I like to do things the way that I like to do them, and when someone's like, oh, I want this and we want it this way, I'm like, nah, fam, I'm good. Keep your money. I'm happy. What class at Hogwarts do you think you'd be amazing at, and the one you'd fail at? Which Hogwarts class would I be amazing at, and what would I fail at? I'd probably fail at potions, because when I think about potions, I connect that with like science and math, and that's very like left brain, and I'm very strong right brain, so I would be really shitty at that. What I would probably be good at, maybe herbology. I feel like I'm such a Neville Longbottom. Like, education-wise, I'm such a Neville. But, like, what I would love, probably Care of Magical Creatures. Like, that was always my favorite class to read about. I was also kind of like, I mean, it's not a class, it's a sport, but I was also obsessed with Quidditch, which I hate sports. Quidditch is the only sport I've ever cared about in my entire life. And I used to, like, always want to be a seeker. But, like, I love Harry. So, yeah, Neville's the shit. I relate to Neville. I relate to Neville and Harry, like, the most. Have you ever thought about not editing your YouTube videos to make it maybe easier? Okay. Yes. I've actually been thinking about this strongly lately. So there's a YouTuber. It's like I said, like I'm such a voyeur and I love just watching people. One of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Trisha Paytas. And she'll do videos that are like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours long. And I very rarely miss a Trisha Paytas video. And she uploads every day. So there is a very large chunk of my day, every single day, that goes to me just like dedicatedly listening and watching Trisha, which I know probably sounds crazy. but I love this girl so much. I find her really fascinating. Now, personally, I never thought that anybody would be fascinated with me that way, but I'm sure that she thinks the exact same thing. So I've been kind of taking some inspiration from her, because what she'll do is she'll turn on her camera, she'll say what she has to say, she'll show what she has to show, and if there's like long pause moments, she just leaves them in there. Like, she doesn't even edit them out. She like leaves the quiet moments in, and like you as the viewer have to either skip ahead or just accept the fact that she's literally almost in the fucking room with you. And I think a part of me likes her style of videos, because it's almost like she is in the room with you. So like, I'll be doing my makeup, or I'll be washing my dishes, or I'll be doing something like a menial task like eating that requires like no brain energy. Like, I don't need to use my brain to wash my dishes. So I'll be able to watch her while I'm doing something. So it kind of feels like I have company while, that sounds pathetic and lonely. Whatever, I'm accepting it. It's like I have company with me while I'm doing shit around my house. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know, I get a lot of joy from watching Trisha Paytas, and she almost feels like a friend to me. Like, I know this girl more than I know some of my closest friends, which is so crazy to think about, but it's like she drops a fucking new video every single day. Sometimes that's an hour of her life in my life, sometimes that's 30 minutes. Like, most of the time it's like half an hour to an hour. So every single day I'm watching a half an hour to an hour of Trisha Paytas. And it's like, if I'm able to enjoy that unedited footage, maybe you guys wouldn't care. But at the same time, like, I think that I'd be okay with dropping the occasional video here and there like that. But at the same time, I also really like the artistic side of YouTube. And I love video editing. And I've spent a lot of money and a lot of time just learning how to edit. But then, like, again, saying at the same time, I do kind of get that editing creativity release on Patreon. I don't know. I have a lot to think about. I want to start a podcast. I have a lot of stuff in the plans. I just want to take it slow. I don't want to be like, hey guys, I'm going to do this, because like I have too much shit going on for me to be able to like promise shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm talking to Rose right now. She says hello. Aww. Tell her I say hi, Vince. There was the whole thing that led to rebranding, but that sucked. Yes, Threk. We're not going to talk about that. Have you ever had to leave a job because they were going over your limits? Over my limits? No. Because, like, in this industry, usually people are clear on their limits before you enter the job. And then, like, if they're not clear on it and you show up and they have expectations, you leave. But I've never showed up anywhere that had expectations of me, because, like, from the beginning, I always learned to be very communicative before you show up to a job. Gotta go sleep now, Bam Bam. Love and feels. Thanks for brightening my day. Love you, Jace. Have a good night, honey. I don't know if you're in the chat room anymore, but if you watch this back later, love you. Thank you so much for coming. Now I'm picturing Vera unscrewing her head like the man with two brains and using her brain to wash her dishes. Okay, the mental picture, that's awesome. To be honest, I like when you do your Instagram feed that go a long time. Really? I know Rose makes fun of you, but they reveal a lot about your personality, and as a follower, it feels good to see. No, actually, Rose doesn't make fun of me. Rose actually really likes it too. She was talking to me about that today, where she was like, sometimes she'll check my Instagram and she's like hoping that I'm gonna go on a rant. And I'm like, really? Why? Why? Because I go on crazy rants. And we're at 104 minutes in this live chat, and I don't think I have shut up once. Why do you like that? Why do you like me? Why do you like me? I'm so annoying. I need to see your feed. Yeah, I know. I was making fun of her because, like, that's actually what led to that. I missed her because, like, so I was in Los Angeles. We didn't see each other for so long. I came home. Her and I were literally hugging on the floor at the front door where I hadn't mopped since I left. laying on the front door where everyone puts their boots and like rolling around on top of each other, just I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. Like that's how much we missed each other. And then we went in the living room and we're sitting and we're chilling and I'm having a smoothie before I get ready for the gym because we went to the gym today. And I'm talking to her and I'm saying to her, I'm like, wait, what was I saying to her? Oh, right. She was like, I kept checking every day to see that if you were gonna do like one of those long stories that you do where you talk, and I was like, really? She's like, yeah, because those are the best. And I'm like, those are the best? So now I'm kind of thinking about Trisha. And I'm like, well, if I can sit and I can watch Trisha babble on and on and on and on for hours, like maybe I'm that cute too. I don't know. It's weird when you're like talking about yourself. But anyways, I like talking. And I know occasionally I'll get somebody who will like leave a comment like, nobody wants to hear you talk, just take off your bra. And then I'm like, okay, sorry. And then like I post a cleavage photo and I'm like, fuck you. And then I block that person because they made me sad. Oh. Trisha Paytas as Miss Limelight, right? That post about restraining orders because you're fun. You plan to make a collaboration with another cosplayer? Oh yeah, I want to collab with tons of cosplayers. I have to go to bed now. Good night, Albert. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I feel like I've spent a fun evening with a charming and articulate friend. Ah, that's so friendly. I like you too, Albert. Thank you. Aw. That's why I like you. You have such a fun spirit and heart. You guys are fucking blowing so much smoke up my ass. That's why I love you. I love you because you suck my dick. Yeah. You have such a fun spirit and heart, and you genuinely care and love the people around you, and you have a little crazy. Oh, a little crazy? Honey, I got a lot of crazy, which is super fun. Plus you're sexy, that helps. Thank you. Okay, next question. Everybody Boston Comic-Con. What's the biggest highlight of your year? What's been the highlight of your year so far? Huh. The highlight of my year so far. Off the top of my head, I have two highlights. One highlight is that I visited Los Angeles twice in a very short amount of time. Both times was not on my dime. Somebody else paid for it. Hey! That was a huge highlight because I love LA. I want to be in LA. All the people I love are in LA. I just want to be a part of that magic. So that was a major highlight. But the first highlight that came to mind was when I reached my 1 year on Patreon and I got a unicorn cake and I did this creative unicorn makeup, and it seemed that both the male and the female audience really liked the unicorn look, which is exciting for me because like when I do a creative look like that, it tends to resonate more with the girls, which is great, but it means that I can't do those looks as often because like guys like really simple stuff. Guys want to see bra and underwear in a bed with natural light, and I'm like just like a really creative person. So the fact that everyone seemed to really like the unicorn was a huge highlight for me because it was like, oh my god, okay, so they like this everyone likes, this is exciting. And then of course like I did 2 videos that month. I did like the mukbang and I did like the unicorn look, like the sexy video, and those were fun. What else? Is that my only highlight this year? You know what? I think my main biggest highlight has been developing my relationship with my sister. I really like I want to do a video with Rose and I want to do a podcast with Rose where we explain to you our relationship, where things were before, where things are now, why things progressed the way that they have, like our past, like what has brought us together, why we're like best friends right now. Like I really want to do a Rose and Vera video or podcast or both because like our story as sisters, it's kind of crazy, and it's kind of emotional, and it's kind of like it's a lot. And my main highlight this year has just been creating the relationship with her that I always wanted. Because my whole life, all I ever wanted was to know Rose. Like, not a lot of people know this, but Rose and I, well, some people know this because we've talked about it a couple times, but like, you really have to be paying attention to tweets and stuff to know. Rose and I have not known each other our whole lives. The relationship is new, but she's my blood sister. Like, she's not my stepsister, she's my actual blood sister. And we've always known about each other, and we've always wanted to know each other, but there was always like a barrier. It's something that we need to get into, and we both really want to talk about it, and we've talked about it a couple times, about like talking to you guys about it and like doing a video and stuff. So yeah, the horn was great. Bedtime. Bye Exis, thank you so much for coming. She loves you so much, she'll talk about you so much if I bring you up. Yo, Vince, same. Like, and that's what's so great is like her and I just have like this really genuine relationship. It's almost scary. It's almost scary because like it's like having a boyfriend where you get attached to somebody on like a really insane emotional level, and all you can think to yourself is, I'm putting so much of my personal self into this person. What if they decide to leave? You know what I mean? It's scary in the same sense that a serious relationship is. Like a serious like boyfriend or whatever. Because it's like, what if this person decides to leave? And that's something that her and I have like had a lot of conversations about, because I have a lot of like abandonment issues, and wow, now it's therapy. Welcome to Therapy with Vera. Anyways, that's something I want to like do a whole separate thing on. So we're gonna move on from that. Thank you for that question, Benny, the highlight question. Will there be a possibility to purchase past Patreon month sets? Maybe a special higher tier that allows access to those. 2 people liked that, and Yahan said this. Fuck, you guys really want past content, eh? I will consider it. If you guys, wow, I'm like, what's going on? I'm dying. If you guys keep fucking harassing me, I will consider releasing old content. No, Vera, it is scary. She wants you, remember. How did you say it? She wants to insist you. Oh, she wants to incest. She wants to scissor sister. We want to get married and have incest babies. That probably would not be allowed. Stay hydrated, please. I'm dying. I'm dying. Before I went to Los Angeles. Before I went to Los Angeles. Sorry. This is the kind of video footage that I can never watch back. Because if I watch this, I mean, we're at 114 minutes, so I definitely won't be watching this back. But if I ever watched this back, I'd be so mortified with myself, I would just delete it from the internet. Like, I'm so happy this isn't on YouTube, because if somebody edited this and just put the most annoying moments of me, like, gagging and shit, I'd be mortified. I have to get over stuff like that, though. Because people are going to do that if my videos ever get popular. Send Rose over here to take care of me. I'll see her tomorrow. We're going to work out together. It's just water. It's just Fiji. It's just regular Fiji. Before I went to Los Angeles, I had a cold. And I was like struggling to get over the cold. And I think I had to mentally trick myself that I wasn't sick. Because all throughout LA, I was still, you guys are seeing me like This is what happens when I'm lazy. Look, I got my little rolls, my little baby rolls. It's because I'm slouched over. Sorry. So before I went to Los Angeles, I got a little bit sick, and then I like had to convince myself that I wasn't sick, and then I was like taking all of these like turmeric and like vitamin shots and like all this stuff to try and like make myself feel better, and it worked. But I feel like I have like this lingering thing, and it's like I have this dry cough where there's nothing in it. It's just like every now and then I'm like and it almost sounds like I'm fake coughing. So then I'll just like, so that's what was going on there. Drink. Brandon Beamish asks, what would you say is the hardest thing for you to do when it comes to working out? Are you someone who dreads leg day? Do you hate working on your abs, etc., etc.? So I would say the hardest thing for me when it comes to working out is when I have fallen off, like when I haven't been working out every single day, and then I go back, like say I go on a trip to do like a convention or like making content or like whatever it is that I take a trip for. When I go away to make a trip, to do a trip, and then I come back and I have to get back into the gym grind, the first day back, I always dread, I always hate. I really like leg day. Leg day is really fun. I really love booty day. What do I hate at the gym? I don't like the treadmill. Like, I'll do it. I think what I hate the most is the bike. Like, I like bikes, but only actually outside in an actual bike. Like, I hate the stationary bike. I hate that shit. What else do I hate? I honestly don't hate a lot because I really enjoy the gym. Like, some people think that the gym and lifting weights is boring. I love that. Whereas I hate sports. Like, I don't enjoy sports. I love the gym. So for me, I don't really dread a lot at the gym. It's just more like if the day is a particularly hard day because I haven't been in a while or something like that. Have you gone to Phillips yet in LA? I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to Phillips. It has the best French dip sandwiches ever. I'm on a very clean diet, Vince. So when it comes to like what I eat when I'm in LA is actually like one of my favorite places just because there's so many like clean vegan options and like just green options. Like the majority of my diet is like green food. So I don't know if I would like that place. Joseph Martinez says, since I'm new to this, not sure what to expect. Hopefully you tolerate my noobish demeanor. Joseph, we love a noob here. Welcome. Welcome to the Bam Fam. Thank you so much for welcoming him, Threk. I really appreciate that. We love a noob. Please feel free to ask questions and get to know everybody. And like we have a very welcoming, positive group of people here. So do not feel shy. Welcome, welcome. More workout videos? Gaunted and I were talking about doing a workout month. Like, would you guys want that? Like, we could do like a shoot in gym clothes and then have like voyeuristic, creepy, like, I know this sounds like so creepy, but I'm such a creep. Like a little part of me wanted to do like a video where someone's spying on me at the gym. But then I was like, if I did that, that might piss people off. Like someone might be like, oh, that's gross. Why would Vera do that? Like, I don't know. I don't want it to cause like hate. But at the same time, no one's actually creeping. It's like clearly a camera person that I'm telling to be there. Like maybe I'll look at the camera a couple times so that it's like, you can tell it's consensual. Cause I kind of like that whole voyeur thing. I don't know. Am I a creep? creep. I'm such a creep. Ew. Right? The gym is a people watching experience. I'm always looking at people in the gym. Yeah, but my video would be like really creepy. Like it'd be like butt angles and like really low, like creeping from behind the thing. Oh my god. But like Rose and I could totally, maybe I'll just like, I don't know. I was thinking about doing a gym month though. But I'm also not fully confident yet. You know what I mean? Like, I've been working out for so long that I should be confident, but I've always been like a weak, skinny, tiny girl. So like the fact that like there's like that's small, but this is huge for me. Like this is so massive for me. Like I never in a million years thought that I would have this tiny little itty bitty baby garden snake bump. I never thought I could achieve that. So for me, I feel like I would do a gym month and I'd be excited, but it would also be like a little bit pathetic because my body is not like that crazy. Like I feel like my body is not like the best body at the gym. You know what I mean? People might think that you think all these people check you out of the gym and you like it. No, I don't want people creeping me at the gym. I actually don't like it. Cause it's like if I made the video, I would get like cute for it. You know what I mean? Whereas I'm at the gym, I'm disgusting. I want to do my workout. I don't want anyone to bother me. I don't want to be hit on. Like, don't fucking talk to me at the gym. Go home. But like the flirty idea of creating a video, like that's fun to me. You know what I mean? Like it's just a fantasy. It's not real. Cycling seat POV. That's so dirty. If you're looking at the camera to show that you know they're there, it'd be cool. How tall are you anyway? I've never even thought about asking that. I'm 5'6". Could you be staring at the person trying to get someone's attention? Pull-ups, baby. Working that back and those and core too. I actually have to be careful with anything that involves chest just because I have implants. Which I should be fine. My doctor says that I'm fine, but there's two kinds of implants that you can get. You can get like over the muscle and underneath the muscle. And for somebody that goes to the gym a lot, like if you go to the gym a lot and then you go in and you see your doctor and you ask for implants, they'll tell you to go over top of the muscle. The ones that are over top of the muscle are the ones that look a lot more like round and like they pop out a little bit more. It's like the fake look. And I didn't want that. I wanted like the natural look. So it's like if I'm just chilling like this, like, and I don't like pull my tits up into my neck, you can't tell that I have implants. And like that's the look that I was going for. I wanted to have like that sort of like natural look. So because my implant is underneath the muscle, what happens, I'm sorry if this is a little gory, you can just put your fingers in your ears and go la 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 for the next 5 seconds. What happens is they slice the muscle and then they place the implant underneath it. So because my implant is underneath the muscle for that natural look, I get a little freaked out of chest workouts and I don't want to like build that muscle because I'm afraid that it'll make my implants look weird. You know what I mean? Like I'm really happy with how they look and I'm really scared that if I work out my chest muscle too much, it'll fuck them up. But I might go in to see my doctor soon because like when I got my implants, I didn't work out, whereas I work out now. So I might go talk to my doctor and like ask him questions just like for my personal self, just to be like, is it safe for me to work out with my implants? Is it okay? Because I do know that if people work out heavily, doctors recommend over the muscle. But I don't know if it's a recommendation or if it's like, oh, you work out, we will not put your implants under the muscle. You know what I mean? Because like certain decisions are made on your lifestyle. So I don't know if it's like the doctor would be like, oh, if you work out, we're not putting your implant over the muscle, or if it would be like, well, you have a decision and this is why. Because I think the other thing is like, my implants, like my boobs might look like, so I know a lot of people hate like, so I do this a lot, like I do this where I flex my muscles. And that's basically like if I was doing a chest workout and I was like going like this, I think that that's part of why people don't like it. I think it's like when it's under the muscle and you flex the muscle, it separates the boobs and people don't like how that looks. But I don't know if that's the only reason, because I literally don't fucking care. Like, my tits did that before I got them done. So I don't think it looks weird, because to me it just looks the same as it did when they were natural. Okay, so Johan asked an interesting question, which I'm not going to answer here, but I am going to address. He's like, you talked about your dad here and there in past vlogs and your documentary with Nova Patra, and he seems like a pretty great guy. What's one of the coolest stories about him you can share with us? So my dad is my literal fucking hero, and he, like, essentially saved my life when I was a kid. So I have a lot of really great stories about my dad, but I want to, like, save them for story times. Like, I have a whole kind of, like, big, crazy story, which is probably going to start to come to light when Rose and I sit down and, like, talk to the camera about our childhood and, like, why we weren't raised together. Like, I have, like, a really deep, intense, insane story. Like, I could literally write a fucking book with the story of, like, our childhood. So I kind of want to start there. And then I'll talk more about, like, my family and stuff. Brandon Beamish asks, what would you say is the least attractive quality a man can have and vice versa? What's the most attractive quality a man can have? The least attractive quality is bad hygiene. I cannot stand bad breath. I cannot stand somebody who doesn't shower on the regular. I cannot stand dirt under the fingernails. Like, I cannot stand bad hygiene. It is my number one turn off. It, like, literally, you can be, like, showered and cologned and looking good and sexy. If I have ever seen you, like, gross, it doesn't leave my mind. It's like, not to say that, like, if I have a husband and he's gross here and there, that's not okay, because everyone's gross here and there. But, like, if it was a regular thing, I'd be like, deal breaker, bye. Like, that I think is so gross. The most attractive quality is somebody who works hard. I like strong work ethic, and I think that's just because, like, I have a strong work ethic, so I don't like being around, like, laziness, because it's, like, demotivates me, and I find that very unattractive. Like, a strong work ethic is, I think, the most attractive quality. That and, like, good, strong morals. Like, in the sense of, like, giving a shit about other people and animals and, like, just being a warm-hearted, kind person who just cares about more than just, you know, yourself. I think, like, selflessness. And not even selflessness in the sense that, like, he's giving me everything, just, like, seeing him give other people. Like, I always find it, like, really attractive when someone, like, takes care of their parents. Or, like, doesn't kill bugs. Like, little things like that. Like, I find very attractive, too. So that the man version of you is what you're attracted to. Yes and no. Because I would say, like, I like having somebody around who makes me want to be a better version of me. Like, I want somebody who's better than I am. You know what I mean? Like, somebody who makes me want to work harder. Not somebody who makes me want to be lazy and gross. Oh my god, there's so many messages here. I asked on Twitter, but let me see if this one's worth it. As a Patreon creator, you're an artist, but also in a sense the product for your customers, not to objectify you. How do you balance your artistic desires with the demands, wishes of your customers? For example, how would you respond to honest, constructive, non-toxic feedback from patrons about a new look or cosplay? In the past, with you and other creators, I've wanted to offer critique of a look, if only to communicate customer preference, but have held back because I didn't want to be inadvertently insulting or seem like I'm nagging. Oh, I like this. How do I balance artistic desires with the demands, wishes of my customers? So I, these days especially, go 100, like 90% for what I want. So, like, if I don't want to do it, if it doesn't excite me, if it doesn't like get me like going, I'm not going to do it. But there are certain, like for example, like somebody will ask me to do a cosplay, will ask me to do a cosplay from like Naruto, but I don't know Naruto. I don't care about Naruto, so the answer is no. However, if I started watching Naruto and I enjoyed it and I like clicked onto a character, I'd be like, you know, my fans asked for a character from this. So maybe instead of doing this character that I also want to do that nobody asked for, that only I'm interested in, I'll do this character that people are asking for that I'm also interested in. So like I'll use like what you guys are asking for as a like, oh, okay, so people asked for this and I want to do it. But if it's like someone asked for it and I don't want to do it, I don't even consider it. And then how would you respond to honest, constructive, non-toxic feedback from patrons about a new look or cosplay? I'm a very positive person, so I deal with constructive criticism very well. But we all have bad days. So it's like, I'll generally ask for constructive criticism. So I think it's like better to only give criticism if somebody asks for it. Excuse me. But at the same time, if someone's like, oh, Vera, this would be better if like the thigh was cut higher or lower or whatever, I'd be like, okay, cool, that's a cool perspective. Like, and then I'd ask myself, like, do I agree with that? Like, whatever. Like, I don't take offense to stuff like that. But I find that I'm very critical when I look at other people's stuff, but I just like keep my mouth shut. You know what I mean? Because nobody wants to hear like the criticism, but like I'll think about stuff, and it's not that what I'm looking at's not amazing. It's just like, okay, so this would be cooler if this. It's just like an opinion, and like I totally understand opinions and I don't get offended by them. Other than knowing what you're talking about, did you get silicone or what's the other saline so you don't have to worry if they leak? Yeah, I got silicone cohesive gel, so they don't leak. They are like the more expensive implant. They're like the gummy bear, which is like the natural feel. Yeah, I got silicone cohesive gel. As someone that believes in body positivity, and I see you as one of the best people to go to when it comes to defending how you see yourself and how you say fuck bullies. So that is the man version of you is what you're attracted to. You are uplifting, so wouldn't the man Vera would do the same to you? Yeah, uplifting. Like, I think that, like, that means a lot to me that you said that, by the way, but I think like somebody who's uplifting is really important. Someone with a big heart can get used, but a real warrior knows that and can help people selflessly. Yes, for sure. Like, I find that like I like to give myself a lot to people. I like to give. And I would like to say that I give completely selflessly and I don't want anything in return. But I'm still like a flawed human at the end of the day. And sometimes I find myself like I had this friend who I loved, and I'm not going to get too into it because I don't want people to know what I'm talking about, because people would know. But I gave myself basically selflessly to this person. And the relationship ended up like kind of dying off. And I felt very burned. And I felt very abandoned. And I felt like, did this person ever care in the first place? And it made me very jaded for a long time. And until... Sorry, I have like hiccups and burps and shit. Until Rose came like back into my life, I was like Xing off letting people in. I was like, nope, I don't got time for this. I'm not giving myself to people anymore. But it was also like this kind of self-realization that I had to come to, where it was like, you helped this person because you got genuine joy out of helping this person. Maybe this person turned into an asshole and like ditched you and took you for granted and whatever, but you didn't help them to get something in return. But at the same time, I kind of did. You know what I mean? Like, I did want something in return. I wanted friendship. I wanted loyalty. I wanted to go out and do things together. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted somebody that I was close to, and I got rejected. And like, it really hurt to get rejected because I gave so much of myself, which I think is something that a lot of people can relate to, and it's like totally normal. So it's like, I went through a thing for a while where I was like, if you want to help people, like, and you want to call that selfless, it has to be selfless. You have to not care. And that's what, like, has opened me back up to, like, Rose, for example, has been like, if it all falls apart and it doesn't work out, you got to help somebody. And if you think about it in the way that, like, oh, this person burned me, I should have never helped them, then it was never a selfless act in the first place. So get the fuck over yourself, Vera, and just enjoy helping someone. And if Rose and I don't work out and she decides that she hates me in 5 years and decides to take everything that I've done for her for granted, whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't worry about it, because if I worry about it and I stress about it, all I'm going to do is block what could potentially be an amazing life connection. But it's like, it's also hard. It's difficult, because like when you want to love somebody and you want to like welcome someone in your life and you want to open yourself to them and give them your time and give them like your help and your guidance and like whatever, you are giving a piece of yourself to these people. So it's like, you don't want to say that you want something in return, because I expect nothing from Rose. But like, I can say I expect nothing from her, but I do expect something from her. Because at the end of the day, I expect her friendship. I expect her to answer the phone when I call. I expect her to respond to my text messages. You know what I mean? And that is asking for something. As much as it's like, I think that I'm not asking for anything, I am asking for something. I'm helping her, and I'm like giving her shit, and I'm like I'm doing whatever I'm doing, because at the end of the day, I want a personal connection in return. And in one way you can be like, okay, that's a totally noble, totally normal thing to want. But in another way, she absolutely does not owe me that. Just as I don't owe her doing things for her. So it's like, if she wants to fucking be my friend and answer my texts and do all that shit, she has to want to do it. And if I want to help guide her through this business and teach her how to be like a cam girl and teach her how to do Patreon and all of this shit, I have to want to do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't expect the other from the other person. You just have to kind of like hope for the best and not get hurt, or not let yourself get hurt. Vera, morally, I see you as a 10 out of 10. You have a heart of gold. Aw, Rose tells me how much you really care about her all the time, and how much you really love her despite of how short of a time you've had her. I do. I love her so much. You sound just like her when she talks about you. The love is fucking real between you guys. Aw, Vince, that makes me really happy. Do you like to hang out in Rose's chat room a lot? I need my other water. Oh, hi, Lucifer. Hey, puppy. Oof. Oh, you're the guy who got her the ring lights. She was so happy about that. She's been wanting that like literally since she was my assistant. Like, she used to come in the apartment and she'd be like, oh, this light is everything. I came like really close to buying her one, but then I was like, this is too big of a gift. Like, because I give her like lots of little gifts. Like, I really fucked up in the past where I would just give too much to people and get taken advantage of. And I don't want to, like, as much as I want to give, I also don't want to get taken advantage of again. It's like, I'm trying to find the balance again, basically. Panic Root asks, Jessica Negri was asking for ideas of people to collaborate with on her Patreon. Would you be interested in collaborating with her? That has 2 likes. 110%. I love Jess. Like, not even just to collaborate with her and how awesome that would be, and like obviously that would be like great for my career and blah 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 whatever, but Jessica Negri is genuinely like a very sweet, kind-hearted girl, and in every experience I've ever had with her has been positive. And I'm somebody who has like a lot of social anxiety, which I've still had like social anxiety around her, but it's like, it's not her fault, it's my fault. But in all of my experiences with Jessica, she's been like nothing but like this amazing positive person. So I feel like sure that'd be great for like the job and whatnot. And I'm sure you guys would like fucking lose your minds. Like, yeah, Vera's with Jessica Negri, that's like great. Like all of that's great. But I feel like just working with her would be fun. Just because it would be fun and it would be like an actual collaborative experience. Whereas sometimes like you work with people and you kind of like you show up and you do the job and then you get out and whatever. I feel like Jess is just like a really genuine person who loves what she's doing, and like I love what I'm doing. So I feel like working with her would be just like such an explosion of just like creative energy, and like I don't know, I feel like that's goals. I feel like that's the ultimate goals in terms of wanting to work with someone. Not even necessarily because they do well online, but just because working with them would be an experience. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people out there who do well online and like have their numbers and blah 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 whatever, but like working with them is boring. Like I've worked with a lot of people that have like good numbers and shit, and sometimes it's like an experience and it's fun, or you make a good friend or whatever. But I feel like working with Jess would be like inspiring, because just being around her is inspiring. She has like really good energy. You told her you're gonna be a main supporter of gear? Yo Vince, hook me up with some gear, bitch. I can use some gear. No, you don't want to support my gear. I have expensive gear needs. She's starting out, so she's great to support with gear. You can get her basic stuff and you're good. Now I'm like excelled, so I have to spend thousands of dollars on gear. Gear is not easy for me anymore. I have to upgrade shit now. Fuck. Like my next thing that I really want, so I have a gimbal for my iPhone. So all of my Patreon videos are currently done on my iPhone, which is fine because it's really good quality. But I have this really nice camera that takes really great video, and I want the gimbal for that, but I think it's like $400. I don't know, I have to look it up. But that's a gimbal is basically what you need to like make steady footage and whatnot. No, not my Canon, it's my Sony. Cane of Nod, excuse me. Cane of Nod said in the questions section, why bother? Hold on, let me check the 1:42:53 minutes. I'm just gonna make sure that he sees when this was. 53, or let's say 1:43 minutes. Okay, so Cane of Nod asks, or said, why bother answering questions at all? Sounds like too much work when you're already busy with YouTube and making cosplay outfits and going to conventions. I don't even expect an answer because honestly that would take away your free time for other stuff, or so I imagine. Okay, there's a winky face at the end of that, so I'm gonna take that as positive, but that makes me feel kind of sad. Because yes, I am insanely busy, but I try and schedule out blocks of time to do things. So it's like, to respond to the questions, it's like I'm giving an opportunity for patrons to ask questions so that I can make content. So it's like, sure, I'm crazy busy, but I'll be like, oh, I want to get something out on Patreon and I want it to like be really, really good. So like this chat, for example, I consider this a piece of like really good content. You know what I mean? Like it's not just posting a photo, there's so much to it. And it's like, I feel like every now and then I would love to sprinkle some of that on Patreon. So yeah, it's true, things are crazy busy and I should probably focus on other stuff, but every now and then I like to pull myself out of it. Most especially Cane of Nod, because I feel like there's this distance being created between me and my fan base, and I specifically put the Q&A option on Patreon only and not on YouTube, because let's be real, if I put this live chat on YouTube right now, like the views would be fire. It'd be doing really well because like I've been here for so long, you know what I mean? But I wanted to actually like connect with my Patreon audience. So that's why I put the Q&A out there. So as much as it's like, yeah, I'm busy, I actually have to work on content when I close this out. But like I can always like try and squeeze in time and make things happen. So I'm just gonna put a timestamp here for Cane of Nod. 143. I'm like, 143 minutes into the video, I respond to this. LOL. It was a long live chat. This is actually a very long live chat. Dennis said, fuck. Blah. Dennis said, you purchased a lot of Louboutins a while back. Will those be featured in a monthly set soon? I've already featured my Louboutins, but I'm sure that I'll bring them out again. I just haven't had I haven't really had an outfit that I wanted to wear them with. I've just joined the $35 team. How do I get access? Oh, this is Paku. So I already answered Paku. When do the Polaroids get sent out? Everything that comes in the mail comes the following month of the month that you signed up. Oh, Evan asks, are you planning to add any more games to play with subscribers to your repertoire? What upcoming games are you interested in playing with or without patrons? Any interest in a Patreon Discord? I've considered a Patreon Discord, but I think it's too much for me to manage, and I don't want to promise something that I can't stay on top of. I've just got too much shit. In terms of adding games, so video games are not a huge priority for me these days, so I tend to just have one game and then I'll focus on it for a really long time. So I've been very, very, very focused on Overwatch. Overwatch is my favorite fucking game right now, and I'm probably, no joke, gonna be playing it for the next couple years. Just because I found something that I like, and when I have free time to game, that's what I'm gonna play. I'll probably sample little games here and there, but I tend to find something that I like and then stick to it. And I'm not the kind of person that has I don't have free time in the evening. So it's not work winds down and then I sit down and I play video games. Really, it's just work gets to a point where I'm pulling my hair out of my head. And when I get to that point, that's when it's okay, Vera, it's time to take time off. And that's when I game. Because with the way that work is, I don't actually get time off unless I force it in. That sounds not good. Have you ever been to Australia? We'd love to have you. You guys keep asking if I've been to different places. If you guys want me at your local con, you gotta let your local con know. Drop my name, and get your friends to drop my name. Okay, so here's a model question. This is interesting. I should leave her a timestamp also. 1:49. Okay, so I left her a timestamp. Model to model question. You're very popular and you do a lot of conventions, which means you meet a lot of people. Has there ever been an incident where you've run into an obsessed fan in real life? How do you handle situations like this? How do you know when to give them the right amount of attention so you don't trigger a rejection effect, or to not go overboard with attention as to not trigger a delusion? So I feel so sorry. I feel like a lot of models have asked me this. And to be honest with you, I've never really had a bad encounter, fortunately. I've had a couple situations where somebody tries to follow your friend group or something, and it's you're not at your booth anymore, now you're going to have your personal time. But I'm a very upfront person. So for example, if the last time I was at a convention, I was with one of my friends, and one of her fans was following her around the convention and just kind of hanging out with her. And she was like being nice because it's like it's part of her community and whatnot, and she doesn't want to offend anybody, but it was all off in her personal time. Very like honest with like you guys with my, I'm like, this much of my energy goes towards my internet life, this much of my energy goes towards my people life, and this much of my energy is just for me, and I'm gonna be alone now. And I'm like very upfront about that. So like if I've ever had a fan who's like who like we get kind of into the fantasy realm of things and it kind of seems girlfriend boyfriendy, I'm always very clear. Like when I start to sense that coming on where it's like, oh, I might be leading this person on, I always tell them. Like I'll always be like, hey, so we tend to have like really personal conversations, and I just want to be clear that this is not like this is not like a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. Like we can get tight, that's cool and all, but like just don't have any expectations of me. And then like if they're getting like a little too clingy, legit, I just block them because it's too much. You know what I mean? But in person, so I can see why like when you have those interactions online, you're worried like, oh, in person this might happen. So I feel like most people are not delusional. Most people like know what the job is. They know like you're a social media person and like you're social and stuff, but that doesn't mean that you're looking for a boyfriend. But there are the occasional people who don't get it. I've had one situation where someone tried to kiss me at my booth, to which it wasn't bad. It was like I went to give him a hug, and then like when we went to pull away, he like tried to slide his face on mine, and I was like, no, you know what I mean? So like I think just be honest and upfront with people. I think people respect that. And I think that if like you feed into people's delusions, you're going to end up in like a dangerous situation. But I think like most people, like, I don't have a lot of that. I don't know. I think that in a model's mind, when they're on their computer and they're flirting with people a lot, they think that people are serious. But when you meet them in real life, you know, like they know it's just a fantasy and you guys are flirting. And it's just like you're just enjoying flirting and nobody has expectations. So I think like that happens a lot, like when you meet fans in real life, where you'll think to yourself, fuck, there's this fan that I have that I flirt with a lot, that knows a lot about me personally, and now I'm going to meet this person in person. I'm really nervous. Like, is this safe? Should I meet this person? And I'll meet those people, and they're actually totally chill. And they actually, like, they get it. Because, like, when you're online and you're talking to them, you think, like, oh, they get it. Like, it's a relationship that's going on here, but this person's not going to be my boyfriend, but I talk to them like they are. You know what I mean? So when you meet them in person, you're like, oh my God, are they going to be like delusional? Did I lead them on? I think just being like honest and upfront, and like even like if you're going to a convention that you think like, oh, okay, so there's this person that I talk to online all the time. I'm really flirty with them. I send them pictures of my butt. Like I tell them, come spank me, daddy, or like whatever. Like I say all this shit to them. In person, are they going to have like expectations of me? What I will do is I'll just literally send that person a DM like, hey, I'm coming to your city. I'm going to be meeting you at this convention. I just want to be clear that our relationship online, whereas it's flirty, I want you to understand that like this is a fantasy. And like anytime that I've done that, they're like, Vera, don't worry, I know. So I wouldn't worry about it as much, but also I do actually like, I have security with me. I've never had to really rely on them because things have been pretty good. A couple times, like Johanse will step forward and he'll be like, hey, Vera needs to like see the next person, like if somebody's just like lingering awkwardly for like a long time or something like that. But in general, I think that in your mind, meeting people is scarier than it actually is in real life. But I can see why you might think that when you like have stories on YouTube, for example, of people showing up at people's houses, or like somebody having like a physical altercation. Like I feel like you have to be like a huge celebrity to worry about that stuff. And when you're that big, you should have security. Like I have security and I'm not a big deal. Like I'm popular, sure, but I wouldn't call myself like a celebrity. You know what I mean? I don't know. I hope that that clears that up, Razor and Nicole, because Nicole said she's also been wondering. I hope that clears that up for you girls. I wouldn't be afraid to meet your fans. Just be upfront with people and don't make anybody think that like you're looking for more. You know what I mean? Like you can flirt and like have sexy conversations and do whatever feels nice and fun, but don't like at the end of the day, like, you know, you're going to be meeting people. Just make sure that you're clear. By the way, guys, this is just for fun. This is just an internet role play. Please be respectful of my personal space when we meet in real life. Do you guys think that was a good answer? I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just answering what I think because, like, yeah, okay. Ew. That was a gross cough. Ew. I'm sorry. God. Okay, so reading the chat room. Only thinking it reduces trolls being on here compared to open platform on YouTube. I know, Joseph. That's like actually one of the best parts about Patreon is that every single person that talks in this chat room is like just chill. Like they're not here to troll. They're not here to fuck shit up. They're not trying to get views on their page. They're literally just here to be a part of the community. It's like the purest form of the community on Patreon. Like favorite. She says straight up, we can be friends, maybe even best friends. But these pants are not for you to get in. Basically, correct, Vince. That makes sense. Because that's the thing too, like there's a lot of people who I've met online who I've become so close with that I'm like, this is one of my best friends. And like for example, I have this guy Stevie. And Stevie and I met on MFC. And we got really tight on MFC. Stevie and I haven't spoken in a while, but Stevie's an active patron. He talks on my Twitter, and I just know that out of nowhere he's gonna pop up in one of these chats, and it's gonna be like roses in here. You know what I mean? Because like that's how tight we got. But Stevie knows that if I go to like Edmonton, everything's chill and whatnot. But when I'm done the con, I'm gonna be alone. Like he knows that. You know what I mean? Like actually, Stevie, I'd probably get like a slice of pizza with. But like there would be a limit on it, right? Because it's like, okay, but that's like with any friend. Like unless you're like my boyfriend or my sister, you're not coming back to the hotel and hanging out. You know what I mean? Like I feel like most friendships that I have are like that. But then it's like you have friends that you become, yeah, because when you get in that best friend kind of phase, you do kind of like want to go grab a piece of pizza or whatever after. But then that also depends on your time. I think like people who like respect you understand, and like if they don't respect you, well then that's a red flag and that's like a dangerous person and you should probably get your security. You know what I mean? Like that's somebody who you should be dealing with security with. Whereas if you're like, dude, I don't have time, I have a photo shoot, I have this, I have that, like that's a friend. You know what I mean? When I saw you gaming the other day, was going to try, but don't have PlayStation, have an Xbox One. Was like, okay, but thinking right now, will you ever get an Xbox? I am PlayStation faithful. Okay, so my story of Xbox versus PlayStation. I was an Xbox girl all throughout high school. Xbox was like my main bay. And then, God, I need more water. I need to go get water. Xbox was my main bay. It was all I played. And then I don't know what happened. When I got the 360, you know what? I blame it on the 360, but I don't think it's the 360. But I blame it on the 360. So around the time of the 360, I slowly stopped playing games. And I think that it's because I just, for some reason, I don't know why, didn't like the 360. But the truth is my career started to take off. And once I started to focus on work and getting things done, I had less time for video games. But in my head, I was like, oh, I just don't like the 360. So my friend Johanse came over to my house with his PlayStation, and we were sitting down to like play, and I was really liking the controller, and it made me really, really want to game. So literally a week later, I purchased a PlayStation, and I have been gaming way more. Like, sometimes I game a couple times a week. Sometimes I game like once every 3 weeks. But I'm gaming a lot more than I did when I had the 360. So I'm pretty PlayStation faithful, especially because I don't game often. So it's like having like a Wii and having a PlayStation is enough. Like, I haven't even jumped forward to get the Switch, which I will do because, like, I'm at heart a Nintendo girl for life. So if I was going to get another console, I would get the Switch. There are definitely the people you meet online that can become so close with. I think it depends on the person. Yeah, for sure. Like, oh man, the number of friends that I've made online. Like, even some of, like I have really, really close friendships with, but it's all natural. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody, like, sometimes you can meet people online and you can like them, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be, like, BFFs. And then you just kind of hope that people aren't offended. Like, what I always tell people, like, what I always tell my fans is lower your expectations of me. Stop expecting so much, because if you expect anything from me, you're going to get nothing. And that's my attitude with, like, everyone. Because I find that, like, especially when you put yourself on a platform where so many people are, like, grabbing at you, it becomes, like, very overwhelming, and people have, like, a lot of expectations for your time. And, like, I think that a lot of people don't really realize, like, you can like someone and you can want to hang out with someone, but when you like and want to hang out with 70 people and they're all going to the same convention, like, it's just not realistic. And if somebody takes that, like, personally, it's like, dude, like, come on, I have a Patreon, we can, like, hang out there, and literally, like how many people are in this? There's 7 people in this chat room right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a lot of people. This is a really intimate, like, tight-knit, like, powwow fucking hangout, which is, like, if you really want, like, that intimate experience, fucking come on Patreon, man. You know what I mean? Whereas it's, like, at a convention, people are like, yeah, I love this, but I'd love to hang out outside. It's like, yeah, well, I'm, like, in town to do photo shoots and make content. So I can understand where Razor's coming from, where she's like, how do you handle this? Honestly, you just have to be, like, straightforward with people and tell people to lower their expectations of you. I'm glad that you haven't had any crazy stalkers. I know models who have, and she's as upfront as you are. Really? See, I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like being upfront kind of, like, keeps the crazies away. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, that's why I have people to have my back. You know what I mean? Like I usually have, like, I don't want to say how many people's eyes are on me when I'm at my con, but I have people there who are, like, ready. You know what I mean? But, like, they've never had to fucking activate. They've never had to, like, jump into action. Like, maybe once or twice, Johanse, who's my booth assistant, will tell somebody Vera has other things to do. But, like, I don't really deal, like, with creepiness. But, like, you hear about fucking people having people break into their houses and shit. So it really only takes one person. But I just think that you can't let fear stop you from doing fun things. Like, if Razor Candy is still listening to this, it is so rewarding and so fun to meet your fans in person. There is nothing like it. Like, sitting here in this chat room, this is really dope because, like, I'm in the comfort of my home and it kind of feels like we're hanging out. I could order a pizza right now. I could kick it. I could play some music. Like, that's really cool. But when you're sitting here and you're kicking it, and, like, for example, I'll use Threk as an example. So Threk is in my chat room right now. Threk I've known for many years. So I've seen him in my chat room for so long. And I sit here and I kick it with Threk. But at the end of the day, I'm getting to know Threk, but it's just an avatar on a screen. You know what I mean? So when I go to a convention and I see Threk's face, it's like seeing like a friend that you haven't seen in a really long time. Like, you have this consistent, like, online relationship with them, but now you're seeing this person IRL and you get to give them a hug. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so simple, and sometimes it's only a couple minutes with somebody, but there's something so cool about, like, meeting your fans, Razor. And I wouldn't allow fear to block you off from that, because at the end of the day, you could get hit by a bus. You know what I mean? You could fucking trip and fall and injure yourself. You know what I mean? Like anything, bad things can happen anywhere. So just kind of like do what's fun. Because it's like, if you're the kind of person who wants to jump out of a plane one day, you can die doing that. You know what I mean? But that doesn't stop people from jumping out of a plane, because it's like this thrilling adventure that they want to do. And if you die, you die. You could literally die getting hit by a bus. I think that like you have a better chance of dying in the airplane on the way to meeting your fans than you do with your fans. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's a false statistic. I just like to think, I don't know, maybe I trust my fans too much. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it. This crazy thing happened where my friend Taylor and I, we were in Calgary, and we got into like the dark discussion of like personal safety and stuff. And I'm very particular. Like when I'm around my house, I don't ever post pictures of me near, like anything that you guys have ever seen me post online where you can actually see the location around me. I have been so fucking far from my house that you will never spot me in those areas. Like even my P.O. box is so fucking far from my house. Like I'm very like extra careful about my personal safety so that I can relax. You know what I mean? So Taylor and I, we were getting into this really dark conversation, and we had a night where we were like sitting up awake like this, like in Calgary, and like we started to get really scared and like closing the blinds and like, oh my God, what if someone watches us sleep, and like all of this fucked up shit. And it's like when you think about it, the thought haunts you. You know what I mean? But it's like, I've been meeting fans for like 5 years, and I've maybe had 3 awkward encounters. Like I feel like the most awkward encounters or the most like invasive encounters have not been dangerous. So they'll be like, somebody will ask me how much to have sex with them, and I'm like, I'm not a prostitute. And they'll ask me again, and I'm like, I'm not a prostitute. And then they'll offer me $10,000, and I'm like, I'm not a fucking prostitute. Like I feel like that was like a situation that I had once, and that was weird. But I have people there. I don't know. I can rant on about this forever. I was thinking about getting this whole time I'm ranting about like dangerous situations, and you guys are talking about consoles. I was also thinking of getting a Switch too, but not sure if I go buy it. Then they will release a new console, but my gaming habits have changed to play zombies now, just play League of Legends. Oh man, I like a little part of me wants to PC game, but I don't. Sometimes I just want to fall into a gaming hole and then not work, but I can't do that. I can't do that. The shit that happened to Meg was scary. That was very scary. That's a shake too for cosplayers. That's such a fucking shake. Like when that shit happened, I was floored. Meg's really big though. But again, like literally could have to do with the fact that like she's so big and she has a YouTube channel, or it could happen to a smaller creator. Like you don't fucking know. It could happen to anyone. Recently got into Magic the Gathering. Shoot, jumping out of planes is the best feeling. I will never do that. I'm not like a thrill seeker that way. I don't like that kind of stuff. I hope that bad shit never happens to you. It won't. You should have a burner in the house. Go with a Glock. James, I'm Canadian. We don't worry about guns here. We have like literally no worries about that. Thanks. I got self-defense. I'm good. Like I can handle myself if I have to. I think that's important too. And I think that's something that like as a model or someone who like posts sexy pictures online is like really important. Like you have to know how to defend yourself in a situation and then just hope that you never have to. You know what I mean? Just like practice it, just like even for fun, like self-defense and whatnot. There's so much that goes into being a model, like that you wouldn't even expect. Like it seems like such a basic job, dude. There's like so much. It's so crazy to think about. All right, guys, we are 170 minutes in. I got some stuff to do for Patreon. My computer has 5% battery left. I'm pretty sure my phone is the same, even though it's plugged in. I'm certain it's been draining. This has been great. I'm fucking tired. I'm done. I hope you guys had fun. Did you guys enjoy the chat? Do you think this was good? The last time that I did this, like one of these chats, I was just like, fuck, I need to do these more often. People keep saying Witchblade, but I don't even know what Witchblade is. Like, Witchblade is a cool looking character, but like, I cosplay stuff that I love, you know what I mean? Which is also why I don't cosplay like as often as other cosplayers. Because some cosplayers, they just cosplay everything. I only cosplay stuff I love. I've already looked her up. It's just like, it has to relate to me. It has to be something that it's like, oh, this is nostalgic, or oh my god, I was obsessed with this, or like whatever. Thank you, Vince. That really means a lot to me. Thank you, Nicole. I mean, she's super hot. Witchblade is like dope, but I don't know. Is Witchblade from like a video game? What is it? I know, right, Threk? Still, I fucking like, I miss the old crew sometimes. Like, that's one of the reasons I want to hop on MFC, because I know like some of my good pervs will come out of the dark. Like, I know that there's a lot of my pervies who like aren't on Patreon. They're not really interested in it, and I miss them. Aw, thank you, Pekuff. I forgot how I said it. Thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying Patreon. She's Witchblade's an anime character? Oh, cool. Aww. Yo, I'm so happy the amount of people who've been like, today was shitty and this turned it around. Like, that makes me so happy. I'm really glad you had a good time. Alright, guys. Have a good night. Keep your eye out for that good content. I've got some great stuff coming. And don't forget to check my Instagram stories so that I can keep you updated on like what's coming next, either on free platforms or here on Patreon. I tend to like, that tends to be my either my Instagram story and my Twitter, or like my news feed of like, this is what's going on now. Go check Patreon or go check here or whatever. I love you guys. Lower your expectations, Pekuff. Lower your expectations of me. Whatever you're expecting, cut it. Like, this is what you're expecting. Cut this piece here. Only expect this. Because if you only expect this little bit, you're gonna be very pleased. Because I always do my best. I love you guys. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Good night, guys. Thank you so much for